Hi, this is Michael Bufferhandle. Let's get ready for EJ Boxing Live.
Yo, what's going on, people, man? So we're here, another hater report. Another guy about to get another guy about to get that work. Hold up, let me just what's up, Mcgregor? What's up, Unrivaled, man? What's going on?
Yo, what up, BJ? How's it going, pal?
All right, man. That's good, man. Let me just sort this out. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Oh, there. No, let me see him. Let me see him. Let me add the guy. Let me call the guy over right now. Like, call my man.
Yeah.
See if he's gonna come in and get that work. We out here. Let me see where he at. Let me call him again. Call him. He gonna come in and that's it. We talk about my Daniel. Let me see this guy. Actually, I haven't put his email, man. Yo, my man. Yo. I'm about to add you right now, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Come in a little bit.
Huh? Shit, I'm going to call one person. Shit. Anyway, I just added. You guys come off mute, man. Let's talk.
All right, what's up?
Yeah. No, man. Just saying. I just added him, so he'll be here in a sec, man.
All right, cool.
Hey, do you know what? I made calls for and Billy Biff. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know that. First of all, I mean, Billy Biff is a goddamn natural featherweight. All right, he never fought at middleweight, let alone he's never fought at lightweight. He's never fought at super lightweight.
And they got the shit beat out of him by Tevin Farmer.
Yo,
yeah.
Hey, hold on. My man, hey, IOTBA, what's going on? Introduce yourself.
Man, y'all know how I do. It's your boy, Mr. 214, Mr. Undeniable. Mr. These boys can't fuck with me on my worst day. UGC representative. Y'all know how I'm coming. Shout out to everybody that's on here.
Let's get it. Your contentions against Wilder. Wilder should have took the money, and the LDBC is fucking up his career. Go ahead. You talk on it.
I mean, at the end of the day, Wilder listened to a bunch of YouTube idiots that fucked him out of $100 million. These niggas kept telling him to bet on himself. Well, how a nigga gonna bet on himself? Then he let another nigga come in, Andy Ruiz, who truly bet on himself and won that fight. So, Wilder, he's one of the most delusional fighters I've ever seen. You're talking about a guy who lost $100 million listening to these YouTube idiots.
Yo, that's a good point. Yo, let me introduce myself. I don't have as long of an intro. My name's Mcgregor. Anyway, I think you're fundamentally wrong based on one point, bro. And I just want to ask you this: how much money did Wilder lose out on?
What you mean?
How much money did he lose out on the fights with AJ? How much was it?
Okay, you asking me how much money did he lose? That's yet to be determined. Hold up, fam. Let me answer your question, because I seem like you're trying to come at me in a sarcastic type of way. How much money did he lose before Anthony Joshua lost that fight? Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua was the biggest fight that could be made in boxing. So you tell me how much money he lost.
Well, he didn't lose any.
Yeah, okay.
Because let me explain why. Because the Joshua and Wilder fight was going to take place after the Andy Ruiz fight, so he would have signed into a 3-fight contract against a fighter who lost. If he had took that, he would now be locked into a contract for a supposed amount against Anthony Joshua when Joshua lost and the fight isn't worth that. So he wouldn't have made that money either way.
Okay, so listen to me. This the thing right here. It's like niggas making up excuses, talking about he wouldn't have made this and he wouldn't have made that. I guarantee you, in this rematch with Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz will make in one fight more than what Deontay Wilder made in his professional career.
Well, that's you don't know that Andy Ruiz is. We don't know. You can't guarantee me that. That's not a fact. You're not.
Hold up, fam. Hold up. You telling me this rematch ain't gonna be big when it happens?
Let me ask you, let me ask something. Well, you think this rematch could have been bigger than Wilder versus Joshua in the unification bout?
No, but look, no. This is what I'm saying right here. Like the Wilder fight would have been huge if Wilder would have bet on himself, but Wilder didn't do that. Ruiz, this fat Mexican guy, just come from out of nowhere, from people who didn't really know him, to the American public and to everybody around the world. Look, fam, that night he made himself bigger than a lot of fighters in boxing, fam.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. As McGregor had pointed out, even if Wilder had signed on to the deal, he would not have got Joshua on the immediate fight. That would not have been the first fight in the contract. He would have to fight 2 fights before he got a shot at him. That was the deal. Now that Joshua was lost, he would have been locked into the zone contract that he wouldn't get the Joshua fight. So it's kind of mute in a way if you think about it. And trust me, I would have said that Wilder would have signed on to the deal anyway. But we all knew that he was not going to get that fight if he had signed on immediately. He would have to fight 200 fights before he got the deal. Before he got the fight with Joshua.
And then the man, I understand exactly what you're saying, but my thing is Wilder fought fights before that. Anthony Joshua and them, they've been trying to make this fight. My thing is Deontay Wilder sit up here and thought he was bigger than what the fuck he really was. Like, nigga, you was never A-side. Nigga, you was never in a position where you could have said, I want 50-50 from Anthony Joshua. He was never in that position. He fought fights before that, DanTheMan. He fought fights where the Anthony Joshua fight was out there to where he could have fought them 2 fights. Then Anthony Joshua would have came up before Anthony Joshua took this loss against Ruiz.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. That's a fair point, but let me ask you something. I challenge a lot of people on this. Joshua and Klitschko, when that fight got made, you know how much Anthony Joshua got for that fight?
For Klitschko, no, I don't know how much he got.
Okay, he got 50%. And let me ask you this. Was Joshua in position to get that 50% against Klitschko at that time?
Of course he was. Of course he was. Let me because Anthony Joshua had a whole goddamn country behind him. Like, he was so big in the UK country, bro. So big. He could command that. Deontay Wilder wasn't big and still isn't as big.
What's his pay-per-view numbers before that fight?
Excuse me?
What was
He's asking about Klitschko in comparison to 50-50 with Klitschko. He's not
but you have to but Anthony Joshua was the champion, right?
Yeah, Klitschko was always it was the A side. Yeah, he was a champion, but he was still the A side.
But you got to look at Klitschko. This was a guy who had been around for a long time on top. So you telling me he couldn't command that at the point? That was Vladimir Klitschko. This wasn't just no regular champ. I know we're not trying to compare Vladimir to Deontay.
No, I'm not
comparing Vladimir to Deontay.
No, we're not doing that.
I want to say this as someone who's in the UK. Can I say this, Dan, real fast?
Yeah, real quickly. Yeah. I'm not comparing that situation to Wilder. What I'm saying is Joshua was not in a position to command a 50-50 split to Klitschko, but yet he got that. So I'm asking you, how was he more justifiable in that situation?
But what I'm saying, how wasn't he in command to ask for 50-50, fam?
No, I'm asking you because
I can answer that. I can answer.
Okay. Go ahead, McGregor. Go ahead.
Just as someone who's in the UK, mate, Anthony Joshua's highest pay-per-views ever was against Klitschko, right? His second highest in the UK. His second highest in the UK in terms of pay-per-view was Joseph Parker, which actually did less pay-per-view buy rate than Klitschko versus David Haye. Now, Joshua's third highest was against Povetkin, which did less in the UK than Klitschko did against Tyson Fury. So Klitschko has always actually out-pay-per-viewed Joshua in Joshua's home country, even though Joshua has that country behind him. So how is Joshua in that position to be 50-50 with Klitschko?
Listen. We're talking apples and oranges. See, y'all trying to take this with Klitschko. I'm not.
No. I'm not talking apples and oranges, bro. I don't want you rewording that. I want my point to be made perfectly clear, so you can answer it without like deflecting my action.
I'm not deflecting your question.
How were they? Well, you were.
No,
you said it's
I'm
apples
not.
and
But bro, listen to what I'm saying. It's apples and oranges. Well, why are we talking about Klitschko? That fight is over and done with.
We understand that. We're talking about the fact that AJ was in a similar situation as Wilder. He was a B-side in that situation against Klitschko. Yeah, he got 50-50. That's my whole point.
But how many belts did Anthony Joshua have?
He only had one belt.
Okay, so he had that one belt, and he was the champion. And what was the fight at?
It was in London.
Wembley.
Okay. So Don't that speak volumes?
I mean, Vladimir Klitschko had already sold out a stadium 10 times that held 75,000 people, so this wasn't a new situation to him.
But what I'm saying, let's not talk. Look, we're talking about Klitschko. Klitschko was he was big. You know, I'm not on her arguing with y'all about the Klitschko. I know y'all trying to bring that up, you know, to try to prove a point. But I'm talking about Deontay Wilder, who was nowhere near bigger than Klitschko.
But when we draw a point, we need to draw a similarity, and we're drawing a similarity between a B side to an A side, and an A side to a B side getting 50-50.
What's your name?
To make a fight happen.
What's your name?
Exactly. McGregor, mate.
McGregor. Now look, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, it's not even close. When we talk about A side and B side.
In that situation, are you saying that Joshua? Well, you're saying Joshua was more entitled to 50-50?
Before Ruiz lost, before Anthony Joshua lost to Ruiz, and still I think Anthony Joshua A side over Deontay Wilder, it wasn't even close.
Well, my question is, was he still justified to get 50-50 against Klitschko in that stadium fight? And by the way, that was Joshua's first stadium fight against Vladimir Klitschko. So I'm asking.
I mean, you know the reason why I say that? Because Anthony Joshua was a rising star. You know, he had the whole UK behind him. He was just some big on the way. And a lot of people was behind him, fam. Like, however they did the money in that fight, I don't know. But the only thing that I could speak on is Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, because that's more clearer to me. Now,
so you don't give Wilder no credit for being the longest reigning champion?
Give Wilder credit. No, I'm listen, fam. Look, I'm giving Wilder all the credit in the world for being the WBC champion and defending his belt as many times as he did. And for him being the longest reigning champion, that should tell you a lot right there. This dude was the longest reigning champion, still the longest reigning champion, and his popularity is shit compared to Anthony Joshua. And I'm telling you that one. No, listen to me.
His popularity is not shit. Because I went to the fight versus Ortiz in the Barclays Center, and that shit wasn't empty chairs in that shit. So I don't know. I don't get when you say like you're trying to say like there's people that know him, there's people that dislike him. Like it's either way. Either you can root for him or you root against him. Either way, you know who he is. So like your statement of trying to say like, yo, he's nobody, he don't deserve 50-50.
No, never said he was nobody. I never said he was nobody.
Yeah, I mean basically by saying he don't deserve 50-50. Like,
what's wrong with me saying he don't deserve 50-50, fam? I really truly believe
he was a champion before Joshua, and then when they have a chance to link for the 50-50 shouldn't be a big issue.
Bro, this dude couldn't even sell out 10,000 seats in Tuscaloosa, Alabama when he had his hometown fight.
Especially when his people gave Charles Martin like $8 million to fight. Like y'all got it. Like I don't get it. Like how y'all pay mad people mad money, and then when y'all get to Wilder, now y'all want to hold back on the ends. Like that don't seem fishy to you.
Who was the champ?
Was
the champ Charles Martin? Wait, hold up. Charles Martin.
I'm asking him a question. Who was the champ?
Charles Martin was the champion. But
now listen, can I answer the question? I ain't look. I'm coming in here with an open mind.
Okay, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is Charles Martin was the champion, right? What was that fight held at, DanTheMan?
It was held in England, in London.
Okay, so with that fight being held in London, England, and Martin being the United States heavyweight champ, I mean, he was American champ. For him to come over there to fight in England, they had to throw him a pretty penny to come over there to defend his title, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, the question is, well, how much did he get before that fight? Did you know how much he got before that fight?
Who, Charles Martin?
Yeah, before he fought Joshua. You know how much his purse was before he fought him?
I mean, no, he probably wasn't. He got nothing close to that. I know that for sure.
Yeah, why did they overpay him to get that fight?
Was it 150K down against Blastov?
It was like 200K, 220K, or something around there.
So the thing is, he was the champion, bro, and they really wanted that belt bad.
So it's Wilder. Wilder is the longest reigning champion.
I know, but Wilder don't want to bow down and take what he could get, bro, financially.
Well, Charles Martin played hardball in that situation. He got what he wanted in that situation. They had to overpay him to get that fucking fight.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but why did they overpay him, DanTheMan?
Because they knew they could beat him. That's probably why they were
They knew
paying
they
him.
could beat him. No, you right. No, that make no. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. You absolutely 100% correct when you say that. But that he was also the champion too, and for him to be the champion, and if they wanted that fight in the UK, they had to overpay him. You heard what Andy Ruiz said? He said, if Eddie Hearn and them want this fight in the UK, they're gonna have to give me $50 million. You know, just being. He said he was saying that hypothetically, but he like they're gonna really have to chunk me the money. That's why I really truly believe this fight will be and the rematch will be in the UK.
Well, let me ask you this: then it seems like you're giving Ruiz and Martin the benefit of the doubt for holding their stance on trying to get what they want. But why not give that to Wilder when he was the longest reigning champion?
No, but you got to understand at the end of the day, they would still B-side, bro. $8 million. They would still be side. I'm not saying Deontay Wilder shouldn't have got more than the $8 million of what Charles Martin got. But what I'm saying is he should have understood that if he want to be king, just like Floyd Mayweather did with Oscar De La Hoya, to become king, you have to take a little hit in the financial department, but take that little hit, go ahead and win that fight, then you become king. If Deontay Wilder would have did that, if he would have took that hit, just like Floyd did, because you got to understand the reason why Floyd Mayweather was so pissed off during that press conference and the lead up to the fight, because that was the first, like, De La Hoya really was the A side in that fight, and Mayweather had to bow down, to get that fight. And after Mayweather bowed down financially and everything De La Hoya wanted, he got the fight. He beat De La Hoya. Then Mayweather became king. That's all I was telling Deontay Wilder to do.
De La Hoya was the champ in that situation. Deontay Wilder's been a champ longer than Joshua.
So as you listening, so don't compare Deontay Wilder to Oscar De La Hoya, because he's never been and never will be that popular.
You can't compare Joshua to him either.
I was just making the comparison, fam, to let y'all understand where I'm coming from, so y'all won't think I'm just hating on Wilder.
That's not an equal because number one, De La Hoya was the champion, right? And the same way Wilder's the champion first. He's the longest reigning champion. So why should he have to take less than 50-50 to a guy?
And while the other fighters never got that.
Because Anthony Joshua was the bigger fighter, bro, and y'all know why y'all arguing with me about who was the bigger fighter.
Wait, why was Joshua bigger than Klitschko? And he got 50-50 for that fight.
Say, bro, who was the bigger fighter? Who was the bigger fighter?
I'm asking you.
Bro, this ain't got nothing to do with Klitschko, bro.
No, I'm asking you a question which you haven't kind of answered yet. Is justify why did he get 50-50 against Klitschko when he wasn't the bigger fighter than Klitschko at the time?
But then the man, why are we talking about Klitschko, fam?
Well, I'm trying to make the point of comparison here because Joshua himself.
The comparison is.
Yeah, go ahead, McGregor. Go ahead. What you gonna say, man?
The point that Dan's trying to make, if you'll just let me say, is he's trying to say when you're saying that Wilder isn't as big of a fighter, so why should he get 50-50? Dan's just asking, why did AJ get a 50-50 with Klitschko when Klitschko was the bigger?
Because AJ was a bigger fighter, fam.
Than Klitschko?
No, he was a big time fighter. Like AJ was on the rise. Like he was huge. Coming off the gold medal. What was he like 15-0 with 15 knockouts?
Just because he had a gold medal? Gold medal?
No,
just because he had a gold medal.
Bro, listen. No, listen to me. He was huge, bro. You know AJ was huge. You act like I'm just talking. Like AJ wasn't a big deal.
No, I'm not saying that.
Outside of EJ, I think out of everyone here, I kind of know how big AJ was in the UK. Is that a fair enough assessment to make?
So McGregor, wasn't he a big deal?
A big deal? He was becoming a big deal.
No, but he was a big deal, bro. He was
he was becoming a big deal.
What I'm saying is, bro,
the Charles Martin fight got him into the 500K club, right? His first million pay-per-view his first over 500K was against Klitschko. He got 1.1 million excess on top of his 500K.
But that was against Klitschko. You didn't think that was going to be a big fight?
But Klitschko had already done 1.3, 1.2, and 1.4 million. So he was already proven, I'm bringing 800K in here. I'm bringing 900K. Joshua was able to prove he could do 500K. We're talking a guy who had done nearly 3 times Joshua's numbers, which is the same kind of idea here with Wilder. 3 times the difference. So when you say he's a big star, he was a 500K in the UK wasn't a big deal. It didn't even scratch the top 25 pay-per-view limit yet. He was becoming a big star. When he beat Klitschko, he rose to what people would claim to be heavyweight supremacy when he took on and beat him. And
So McGregor, what's the highest seeding that Klitschko ever did at Wembley Stadium? Besides the Anthony Joshua fight.
Well, he only fought once at Wembley.
One time, and how much was that?
It was against Anthony Joshua.
Oh, so that was the only time they did that, though, right? So what was somebody telling me that Klitschko was putting 75,000 in the seat?
Yeah, he did.
Germany,
he did.
In Germany, in Hamburg.
Okay.
Do that. He was even putting 90. I think it's.
So how many times? How many times did Joshua put like 80,000 and up? And
he did that.
Wait, hold on, Dan. I've got the answer to this.
Okay.
The official seating numbers for the Principality is 77,500. He fought at Wembley twice. One against what's his face, Klitschko, and that did above 80K. Other than that, Anthony Joshua hasn't broke the 80K barrier. Just so as you know, he hasn't actually broke above 80K officially on official seating lists.
And that's the thing. So you say he did like, and I ain't arguing with you. I mean, you in the UK, so you know. So you said 77,000 and 80K, right? By 80K, right?
His highest seat total to date is 88,941, according to the Independent in the UK.
And that's in his hometown, right?
That's in his home city that's in London. That's 10 minutes from where the kid grew up by a train.
Okay, so in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, when Deontay Wilder had his hometown fight there, the longest reigning champ, and he was still the longest reigning champ. Dude couldn't even put 10,000 seats in there.
Well, I'll ask you this: was he the longest reigning champion?
Look.
No, wait, hold on, wait, stop. You said something that is wrong. When he had his hometown fight in Tuscaloosa, you said he was the longest reigning champion. When he had
I said y'all saying he's the longest reigning champ, man. I'm saying Deontay Wilder the longest. Okay, so listen, bro. You stop trying to catch me in what I'm saying. We're talking boxing. I'm trying to tell you some shit. Basically what I'm saying, he didn't do 10,000 in Tuscaloosa. Now answer that.
Didn't do 10,000 in Tuscaloosa. Okay.
So why is you trying to nitpick? I was just saying he's the longest reigning champion.
Hold on. I've got this. What's the population of Tuscaloosa?
Man, I don't give a damn what the population of Tuscaloosa is.
What's the population of London? What's the population of London?
Listen to me, fam. If dude is big time, he big time. People gonna show up and show out. Simple as that.
Yeah, but for real though, what is the population compared to London?
I don't know, and I don't give a fuck. The only thing I was doing, man, it was just trying to make a point. I don't see how there's any logical reason that y'all can argue that Deontay Wilder is or was a bigger fighter than Anthony Joshua. He still ain't bigger than Anthony Joshua right now.
Well, we're not arguing that case, bro. But the problem, here's the thing, YG. Hold up. YG, we ain't arguing that, but we're arguing that. I'm gonna be real with you, IOTBA. I like you, brother, but you haven't quite gave us a logical reason why Joshua was justified to get 50-50 when he was not nearly the star as Klitschko.
No, but listen, DanTheMan, you talking about Klitschko. I didn't get on here to talk about Klitschko.
We understand that, but it's a fair comparison.
No, it's not. No, it's not. If we're gonna talk about the fair comparison, y'all ain't under. I'm saying Wilder was the champ.
I have an answer.
Okay, so there you go, McGregor. You ain't gonna let me finish my point.
I was just going to say the population of Tuscaloosa is 100,000
I want you to go ahead because I want you to let me finish my point when I go ahead.
Go ahead, McGregor. What you going to say, man?
The population of Tuscaloosa, Alabama is 100,000 people, and the population of London is 12.6 million.
Whoa.
Okay, so what you saying?
I'm trying to say that Joshua only did 8 times the numbers of his hometown.
I'm saying what you saying though, bro. No, but look, bro, if you big time, people gonna show up and show out, fam. You understand that, McGregor?
When he fought in Tuscaloosa,
you're not letting me. You're asking me what I'm saying, but you're not letting me make my point.
That wasn't in the middle of his reign. That was at the beginning.
That was
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
the beginning of his reign. It
That
was
was at the-
against.
that was the
Who, wait, who was
beginning of
who
his
was
reign.
the
How
opponent?
many
Who was
fights
the,
did he have? 30 something? And you talking about the beginning of his reign?
The reign of him
yeah,
being
it's literally the
champion.
beginning of his reign. By definition,
when he
that's a
defended the
fact.
title.
But anyway, I was just going to ask, why are we comparing like two different like areas when one has 126 times the population of the other?
Bro, why is you talking? Listen to what I'm saying. See, this is the thing right here. See, I see how you do, McGregor, and that's cool. I like how you doing it, but bro, you can't get me, bro. I'm on that bullshit again. You got to understand who you're talking to. Now look, my thing is, see what
Oh,
you're
I
trying
bet
to.
you
Hold
suck,
up,
bro.
fam, hold up. What you're trying to do, McGregor, you're trying to make a point, and you're making points, but you're not making points on what we're really talking about. I'm not
Well,
saying
you're
you're
not
wrong.
answering any questions.
No, because I'm not going to answer to you about. I asked you a simple question: how many seats did Anthony Joshua put in his home channel? How many seats did Wilder put in? But a nigga like you, instead of you being like, "Yeah, you're right," you want to talk about what's the population? What's the population of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, which makes no fucking sense on what I'm talking about. Now, let me finish my point, McGregor. When you really interrupted me, fam. This is what I'm saying right here. Y'all sitting here trying to talk about Klitschko. I'm not talking about Clips. They don't make no example on what I'm saying. But they don't make no example on what I'm saying, bro. I'm talking about who A side and who B side. When in the serious shit, I gave you an example of Deontay Wilder. We know he was the B side. So my thing is, do like Mayweather did, Deontay. You know, take the highest amount you could get, beat Anthony Joshua, then you become king. That's what I've been preaching.
Okay, we don't.
Wilder this entire time.
We don't disagree with you. Well, here, hold on, YG, hold up. We don't disagree with you. That I got to ask you this question again. Who was the B side between Klitschko and Joshua? Who was the B side? Klitschko or Joshua? Who was it? Who was the B side of that situation? Who was it, bro? Between Joshua and Klitschko, who was the B side?
Damn, man, why y'all keep asking me about Klitschko and Joshua?
He just wants to know the answer. He just wants you to give the answer.
No, I'm really, because y'all really confusing me.
No, I'm just asking you because it's a simple comparison. Because I'm asking you, who is the B side?
I don't know.
You mean you don't know? What do you mean you don't know?
Okay, so look. So if I tell you I don't know, because if I'm looking at Klitschko's standpoint, you know, Klitschko, just everything about him and what he did in boxing, you know, he had a name out there, but Anthony Joshua was this rising young superstar, fam.
Well, let me ask you this then. Okay, well, in that case, then who did the bigger numbers before they fought, Klitschko or Joshua?
In the UK. In Joshua's home country.
McGregor already stated that earlier. Why are you asking me a question that we had already went over?
In that case, then Klitschko was the A side, correct? Correct?
I don't know.
You don't want to answer the question. Come on.
I said, bro, I'm not running around your questions, DanTheMan. I'm just looking at it from a standpoint that Anthony Joshua was that nigga, bro. Like, and I got to look at for who Klitschko was too. But Anthony Joshua was this rising superstar on the come up, bro. And he was big.
I don't know how somehow somebody fed you this information that he was like puffed up to be somebody. But if you Wilder and you champion before this guy, why would you bend and give him that what you call it for what? Like your only comparison is to Mayweather, but you can't compare that situation because what you call it is a.
Can I ask you a question?
Like,
who is that, EJ?
This guy's not a.
No, that's YG. That's YG.
For you to give away 50% of the what you call like that like what Oscar De La Hoya was bringing to the table, like like that made up for him giving away that money. Like the difference between that two, like that's totally different. And the De La Hoya fight was in Mayweather's hometown, like not his hometown, but where he lived.
Man, Las Vegas was the mecca of fights, bro. Stop talking about it was in his hometown. All big fights in Las Vegas. Carry on.
Not all big fights happen in Las Vegas.
Man, mostly big fights happen in Las Vegas, fam.
Right, yeah, through the 90s.
No, but I'm saying big time fights happen in Las Vegas, like Las Vegas.
Because if you still think about one of the biggest fights, you still have to think will be Buster Douglas versus Tyson in the 90s, and that was in Tokyo.
Yes, sir.
Bro, come on, bro. Come on, stop it. I said, you heard what I said, YG Knight.
That's just off the top of the onion, and I know there's other big fights that happen outside of Vegas. But go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, YG Knight. But you didn't hear me. I ain't say all. I said mostly.
Yeah, but reason why I said that is that he really didn't have to leave his home. Like that's why another reason why it wasn't a road fight for him. They wanted him to give up 50-50 and go on the road, and you're the longest, and you was the champion before him. Like it's mad things where it's like almost a slap in the face. Like it's just mad. That's the part where I don't get that you don't get. That it's mad things where it's really a slap in the face. Like you got to go out. He got to go out his way to make the Joshua fight happen. Like,
man, but look, bro, why are y'all talking
out his way?
But YG Knight, I respect you, bro. You make valid points. I'm not sitting up here trying to disregard or nothing that you say, bro. I respect everybody who talking about boxing because we all got one common thing. We all love the sport of boxing. But my thing is, y'all steady going around what I'm saying, bro. AJ was the bigger fighter, fam. Simple as that. Deontay Wilder wasn't on his level. And I want to ask the whole panel this. And I want y'all to please answer me. Deontay Wilder not taking that fight. Didn't that lose him $100 million?
No, because Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz.
I'm asking you a question, bro. McGregor, did he lose $100 million?
No, he didn't because the fight wasn't going to take place.
McGregor, why are you doing that, fam?
Because I'm answering you. You're asking me a question.
No, but you talking about no. You know that fight. That was the biggest fight that could have been made in boxing, bro.
But the fight wasn't going to happen.
Hold
the fuck up, my brother, yeah? Listen for a second. Don't tell me to shut the fuck up or calm down.
I ain't telling you to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, Legal said.
No, you keep talking, motherfucker.
No, you shut the fuck up. Don't call me a motherfucker. I'm fucking shit out of you, boy.
Silly ass dude. I ain't get on here and tell you to shut the fuck up. I was just telling you, hold up, listen. Nigga, I ain't never get disrespectful.
You keep yelling. You keep yelling at me and yelling back at you.
No, nigga, you mad because you got a real nigga.
Don't call me that shit. 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 Don't call me that shit.
Fuck you, nigga. Like I said, fuck you. Think you talking to?
Hey, come on, IOTB, Mcgregor.
I came on this motherfucking panel to talk about shit.
I'll ask you three questions. Answer all of them, and then I'll decide if you can speak to me.
To talk my shit, right? And just to talk boxing. Just because this motherfucker don't agree with what the fuck I'm saying.
Whoa. What happened?
Yo, hold on. Let me. I'll just mute both of you, right? So, why he asked the question, and I'm gonna answer his question. So that's what he asked, right? So he said did Wilder miss out 100 million? I'd say no, because I think the contract for the zone that was 100 mil in total for all the fights, right? But that one fight wasn't going to be 100 mil. Dan, answer the question.
All right, yeah, I'll answer the question. The question is that Wilder was not going to get that fight because, as McGregor said, AJ got beat up by Ruiz. The fight was if he wait, hold up. Even if he signed up to the zone, I thought he should have done. The deal was that both fighters were going to get 2 interim fights in between before they eventually fought. The AJ's going to get 2 fights, and Wilder's going to get 2 fights, including Brazil and whoever. I think Konaki was part of that deal too. But since AJ lost, Wilder was not going to get that fight. He was not going to get that $100 million deal. That was not guaranteed from the looks of it.
So your answer is no, then, yeah? Your answer is no as well, right? All right.
Yeah.
YG Knight?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, answer the question, yeah? He asked the question, hey, did Wilder miss out on $100 million?
They just answered it. That was no, because he lost before that. That's why you can't do those future deals. That shit is the whole Rob Stark and wedding plan down the road. Like you can't do that shit. Like, yo, we signed a deal, but 2 fights in the middle of it. I got to fight on a different network and all of that. Who the fuck is doing that? Like that shit was a no. Like that shit was.
Can I say something?
Everyone's asking you a question because you did ask a question. To be fair, everyone asked their question, and then you can say after. McGregor, unmute yourself, yeah. McGregor.
Yeah, what up? Yeah.
Answer the question, yeah. So did Wilder get out on 100 mil? Go on.
I don't believe so, just because of this point that if he was going to get the 100 million, it was meant to be fight Dominic Brazil for 20 million, two $40 million fights for AJ. AJ was still going to have to come through Andy Ruiz. He lost that fight to Andy Ruiz, so the fight was null and void. That's my point.
All right, so that's basically everyone on the panel disagrees with you. What do you have to say to that?
It's just crazy. Like, it's real. That's a real delusional way of thinking, respectfully. Because at the end of the day, y'all know that was the biggest fight that could have been made in boxing. And for y'all to be so biased towards the situation to say that he wouldn't have made that wasn't the biggest fight in boxing where he lost $100 million.
We never said it was not the biggest fight in boxing.
No,
We're
no,
saying,
look, bro. No.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, DanTheMan, he lost $100 million plus, fam. When Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, that $100 million went out the door, fam.
Can I ask a question? Let me, please. I really have I have a really good question. I won't be able to keep it in my head for long.
Okay,
if I come up to you with $25 and I say, I'm going to give you this after I go up to my friend and hang out with him, and then I go up to my friend and I hang out with him and I get shot in the head, are you getting that $25?
Bro, what the fuck type of question is that, fam?
It's
literally a situation. Respectfully, bro. Look, you could have brought up a boxing term to me. Wait, you come talking about somebody getting killed in 20. Come on, fam. You better than that, fam.
In all honesty, respectfully, mate, I don't want to ask certain questions because I don't know if you'll know the answers to certain ones.
How the hell you don't know? How the hell you don't think I know if I know the answers, fam? If you don't ask them, then you won't know. So don't assume nothing, fam.
Okay, when Tex Rickard promoted the very first ever $1 million gate between Jack Dempsey and what was the name of the guy IOTBA that Jack Dempsey fought?
Was he the German guy? I could be wrong.
No, wasn't
I can answer that question. Can I answer that question?
What's his name, Max? I don't know. Listen, I might not know everything, but I know a little of my history. I don't know if I'm right about that. But was it the Max guy, or am I wrong about that?
No, it wasn't Max. It wasn't Max.
Well, I'm wrong about that then.
I'll give you a hint.
Enlighten me, sir.
I'll give you a tip. He's from. I'll give you a tip. He's from France.
No, let McGregor go. I want him to enlighten me. Enlighten me, sir.
His name is Georges Carpentier, right?
Okay.
So when that fight was made for Tex Rickard, you wanted a point that would show this. Originally, the idea was that they wanted to have Jack Dempsey fight with Gene Tunney in the first $1 million gate. But Gene Tunney refused to and decided to have a light heavyweight showdown with Harry Greb in another rematch, betting on Georges Carpentier to win, and he could go to France because he felt that the belt would be an easier victory for him. However, Georges Carpentier had the shit beaten out of him by Jack Dempsey, and 2 years later, Gene Tunney eventually fought Jack Dempsey after his popularity had dried up, and he lost that amount of money, which is a similar circumstance to what has happened now.
Okay.
So Gene Tunney, in his entire career, made less than that one fight alone could have made.
Okay, so let me ask you this right here.
But that man is still in the Hall of Fame. That man is still regarded as one of the ATGs of the sport.
Okay.
What I want to ask you is how you keep saying that Wilder lost out on the money when it's Anthony Joshua was the one who lost.
That's true. He lost out.
It's not like Wilder.
Are you asking me this question, YG?
Yeah.
Okay, so Anthony Joshua was making $20 million a fight, right? McGregor, you from down there, so wasn't he making 20 plus million a fight?
McGregor, you there, bro?
Hey, Mayday, McGregor.
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
what was the question? What was the question I was talking to?
Mate, I said, mate, you're down there, mate. So wasn't Anthony Joshua making 20 plus million for his fight?
He made 20 million, and then everything was below 20 million. So he had two fights from 20 million plus, yes.
Okay, so
not all of his fights.
Not all of his fights, but recently Anthony Joshua been making 20 million a fight. Plus, let's not forget all of Anthony Joshua's sponsors he got. So just think about it. Anthony Joshua making between 20 to $50 million a fight, including all his sponsors, fam.
Mm-hmm.
Fact or fiction?
Speculative.
Speculative. Come on, McGregor, man. Come on, bro.
Well, I can't say 250 million. It's speculation. I can't say factually. It could be more. Okay. It could be more than 50 million.
That's the thing. What I'm saying is basically. So when I'm saying, so let's go to Deontay Wilder. Before this last fight with was that Tyson Fury and Dominic Brazil. What didn't he make like $10 million a piece on that fight or something?
Yeah, he did. 10 million plus upside. Wilder.
Okay, so how much was Wilder making before that?
Before Dominic Brazil?
All the fights. He was making like 1.2.
Yeah, he's making roughly about $2-3 million per fight.
Like not 2 or 3 million, like 1.2 million.
While including the upside, if you plus the guarantee, that's what I was doing. So go ahead,
what was the upside? He only fought one time on pay-per-view. Man.
No. The upside is not just pay-per-view revenue, but you also get the licensing fee on top of that. You also get a partial ticket too. Fighters, you do get that. So I'm just saying. But go ahead.
No, that's what I'm saying. So. With Anthony Joshua commanding that type of purse, and we got to understand, bro. Deontay Wilder was getting that little bitty money, and he's from look. I'm from America. You know, I love the country where I'm from, but I denounce myself from these privileged ass fucking Americans here in America. Listen, Mcgregor, you from the UK, so you should understand how these privileged ass Americans is. These motherfuckers around here, these privileged motherfuckers around here think that everything supposed to be our way. Look, these privileged fucking Americans, Mcgregor, they couldn't stand the fucking fact that Anthony Joshua was that nigga, fam. They couldn't stand the fact. Listen to me, Mcgregor. They couldn't stand. Hold up, Mcgregor, listen, because I'm talking to you. Because you do know your shit about boxing. Yeah, we got a little heated, but I do give you your respect. You do know about boxing. But I'm talking to you now, sir. Now, look, these privileged fucking Americans, they couldn't understand. And Lennox Lewis and all with his fucking ass, he pissed me off talking about if I was Anthony Joshua, I could do that. Yeah, nigga, if you was Anthony Joshua. Because see, one thing Anthony Joshua did, and these privileged ass Americans didn't like it, is that Anthony Joshua finally made it a way where he didn't have to come to fucking America to fight over her. He could do what the fuck he wanted to do. And all these privileged fucking Americans couldn't handle that shit.
Well, let me ask you this, bro. Does that make Anthony Joshua greater than Lennox Lewis?
No. It ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm telling you, listen to me, Dana, man. Do you hear what I'm saying about these privileged fucking Americans? They were always used to having it our way, fam. That's why I denounce myself from these privileged motherfuckers.
Yo, talk about what part of the United States you from?
He's from Dallas.
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
You from Dallas, Texas?
I can tell down a mile away, bro.
Americans?
You can tell by the what, motherfucker?
Like, you gotta be kidding me. How, who lives in privilege?
I don't know what he said. You can tell by what?
What do you?
I can tell a mile away. I can tell a mile away. The accent. You can tell.
What do you call privilege?
The way these privileged motherfuckers think, bro. Look, Anthony Joshua is that. Bro, is you gonna let me ask you a question, EJ?
All right, go ahead.
EJ, you stop acting like these motherfucking Americans ain't privileged.
No, that's not EJ, bro. That's YG. But go ahead, man.
Oh, YG, stop acting like these privileged motherfucking Americans ain't used to having everything our way, dog. Come on, fam. And they got mad at the UK. They got mad because the UK boxing then rose to a level to where it was damn near on the same level where Anthony Joshua was like, nigga, I ain't never got to fight in America if I don't fucking want to. That nigga over here making he's making 20 plus million in the UK. Deontay Wilder here making 1.2 in this privileged ass America.
Why are you saying privileged Americans? Where do you get that from?
Hold up, am I stuttering? Hold up, come on, YG. I done stated the whole reason to you. So,
what privileges do we get?
I done stated the whole.
I know you're not talking about in the streets. You can't be talking about that way.
No, I'm talking about just America, period, fam. It's just like America, period. These niggas think we supposed to have shit our way. You see how Deontay Wilder and them acting with all this boxing shit? They mad because UK they rose to a level where UK ain't got to take this American bull. Bro, let me tell you something. You know how many times, throughout the history of boxing, that if you wanted to just really blow up in boxing, you had to come over here to America, fam. You know that, right, YG? You know that all the motherfuckers from across the pond, if they want to blow up, even dealing with these bullshit ass judges and everything they had to go through, they had to come over here to America to do that thing.
IKO, have you got a red jacket?
Hmm?
Have you got a red jacket?
What you mean I got the real? What the hell does that mean if I got the real jacket?
Because you sound like a red coat. You sound like a red coat, right? Like
I sound like what?
a red coat.
What the fuck is that?
He's saying that you sound like a British royalist. He's saying that you sound like a British royalist as well.
No. I'm just keeping it real, bro. Look, fam. Like McGregor, you know, bro. I say McGregor, you being from across the pond, fam. You should know how privileged these fucking Yanks are over here, fam.
All right, so you said, but when you say privilege, right? Look, come on, hold on.
YG, let EJ speak. Let EJ speak because he's been quiet. He's been quiet the entire time.
He just named. Hold on, time out. He just named Deontay Wilder's purses before all of this, right? And then you see how low they was, and you saying he's the privileged guy, right? And then you name the other guy. So who's like how's Deontay? Where's his privilege at? Like, if anything, he gets shitted on for everything he does. Like, how is he privileged?
Can I answer that? Is y'all gonna let me answer, EJ?
He knocks people out. No discrepancies in his fights. Knocks out, right? And up until the Fury fight, where that's the only one where it's a coin toss, where people have opinions about it. Your guy on the other end, he can't hold up his end of the bargain. You want him, then you knock him for not wanting to sign a make-believe deal where I gotta fight two other people just to fight you, and then in between that you could get knocked out, which really did happen because everybody was saying that before it happens. Who wants to sign a contract like that? That's like saying, like, yo, you're going to buy a car, but two other people get to drive it before you get it. That's crazy. Like,
So can I answer that, EJ? Can I answer you, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing, shout out to EJ. Now, one thing, I want to say that to you, bro, and I apologize about, earlier, fam. I appreciate you really bringing me on this panel for real to talk that shit out.
That's all right. No, that's all right. But what? Now it's lighthearted. When I'm in your red coat, I can't believe how low you are. Because when you talk about privilege, I'm like, yo, bro, why they getting none of it? But you know the thing is, that from your opinion, listen to me, and let's talk about the LDBC, because like you're saying the LDBC, right, are the reason why Wilder got out that pocket. I'm like, yo, because they talk to him. They don't mean that. Why the grown ass man, he makes his decisions now.
And listen, bro, let me tell you something. They push that same bullshit ass narrative, fam. They were trying to make it to seem like Wilder was this bigger than Anthony Joshua, fam, which was never true. My thing is this, fam. If Deontay Wilder really, look, what's his favorite word? Till this day, he say, if you speak it, you believe it, you achieve it. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't live by his words, fam, because if he really believed in himself like that, he would have took that route to go fight AJ.
The whole point is
I ain't gonna be able to get my point out.
No, I'll let you get the point. I'm just saying though, even if he did, the whole point is even if he did, he still would not have gotten that fight because Ruiz got to him before he did be first. That's the whole point.
I know, but look, bro, just think about it. That Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua fight was out there. Deontay Wilder, he felt like the privileged nigga in him, he felt like he should get more than what the fuck he was supposed to get. When he
it's your guy that was privileged because he was never built for it in the first place. He was put in a position that he was never built to even be in.
Who?
That's
AJ.
Hey, bro, stop it. Let me tell you something.
Your guy, time out. Your guy paid extra to fight a weak fighter, took a title from him, then fought Parker, and took a title from him. But if he would have fought Wilder way back, Wilder would have been pancaked him.
Okay, so if that's the case,
conversation. Talk about EJ is privilege.
Yeah,
you just witnessed the Mexicans just Charlo for the title and he ducked him. Who really gets privilege?
YG, you making my point, YG.
You be saying people privileged over here. Like
YG,
he the one that had smoke blown up his ass that made him feel like he was bigger than what he is. That's why
YG, you act like he wasn't bigger than what he was.
In the ring, he gonna pancake him again. Like that nigga ain't no body for you to be up here talking about, Wilder missed out. Man, only thing Wilder missed out was knocking his ass out first.
No, nigga, Wilder missed out because that was the biggest fight in boxing, fam. And you making my point, YG. If Wilder would have took that fight earlier, and if Wilder would have became successful, the rematch would have been even huger, and he would have been king of boxing then. And then we couldn't have said shit about Wilder. But one thing y'all won't do is say how Wilder said he was going to bet on himself. Well, nigga, if you betting on yourself, why you didn't get in that ring? You let Andy Ruiz get in that ring and become fucking champion of the world. Stop playing with me.
He bet on himself because the way it looks like it, Wilder might be fighting Louise, and they might even cut that chump nigga that you.
Man, bro, if you believe, listen, bro.
Situation. And if that happens, he ain't even gonna even ask Wilder for a fight because he already know what it is. He's definitely not gonna be no 50-50. He's definitely gonna be the B side. He's definitely gonna have to come.
Who gonna be the B side?
And he's definitely getting pancake.
Who gonna be the B side?
Yep,
he said Joshua.
Anthony Joshua.
Gonna be the B side when
after Wilder pancake Louise punk ass, he gonna be the fuck.
How is he gonna say, bro? Why is you getting this false ass narrative? I guarantee
that's
you.
Not a false narrative,
bro. Listen to me, fam. Listen to me.
You ain't see what Eddie Hearn said? Eddie Hearn said that I
heard that, bro. But let me tell you this.
That might not happen.
Say, hold up, bro. I don't give a fuck what they said. It was an automatic rematch in there, fam. Do you really bro? Come on, YG. Stop putting this false ass narrative out there.
You better.
YG, is you gonna let me talk? Is you gonna let me respond back to you, bro?
Yeah, let IOTB get
YG, you gonna let me respond back to you? Every other word I say, you gonna interrupt me, fam. I just let you talk.
IOTB, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So this is what I'm saying right here, YG. Stop believing in that false ass narrative, bro. You really truly believe Anthony Joshua or Ruiz and Wilder will happen before Anthony Joshua and Ruiz rematch happen? Do you truly believe that shit? YG?
If talks keep falling apart and they get a chance to unify, he can skip that. Yeah, that's the
bro. That shit mean. Listen to me, fam. When you got a rematch clause, bro, we ain't never seen this in history. When a big time fighter like Anthony Joshua, or if it was a big time fight in history, they lost and they didn't get their rematch clause. Come on, YG. Stop pushing that false ass narrative. That's that false ass narrative that the LDBC pushing. Talking about skip over Tyson Fury, fight Ruiz. Look at Wilder. This is the almost the loop. Hold on, real quick. And I'm almost done.
Eddie Hearn said. I didn't say anything.
No. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about what the LDBC been pushing. I don't know if you're part of that.
It made no sense to even bring them up.
Listen, bro. I can bring whoever I want up.
But we talking about. What I'm trying to say is, if we
talking about Wilder versus him, and y'all bringing up Klitschko to me.
What happened?
We was talking about Wilder and Anthony Joshua, and then y'all bringing up the comparison. Hold up, fam! You talking about don't bring them up? Why did y'all bring up Klitschko when I was talking about Wilder and Anthony Joshua?
Because they're boxers. You bringing up?
So no, what I'm saying, bro. Listen to what I'm saying, fam. I respect Deontay Wilder. I don't want y'all to think that I dislike this dude. I just think he's very delusional, fam. And I think a lot of people are delusional.
I don't know why LTB. I got to respond to Unbiased in the chat. He says here, win or lose. And he said he ain't enough time to come on here with us bodies as he claimed he wants to. But he said this, win or lose a draw. Win or lose, Wilder would have gotten that money if he had signed with the zone. No, he would not, dummy. First of all,
how would he wouldn't have got that money, fam?
He only got the money if he got the Joshua fight, if they have actually fought. Okay, now that he can't get the fight because we feel he can't get the money.
Yo, can I say something? I
actually need to go. Guys, I need to go. Peace to everyone on the panel. IOTB, IOTBA. Big respect for coming on, man. Peace out. Have a good one. Peace out.
Go ahead, Mcgregor.
Damn, y'all taking me out?
No, Mcgregor.
Yo,
no, I have to go. You're still out there. I'm just peace out.
Hold on, but look, though, shout out to you, Mcgregor. I apologize for you, fam. You know, for saying the words I did. It's just, you know, when I can see right now that you know your boxing shit and you real headstrong, just like I am. And when people come together like that, you know, that it happens like that. But I want you to know I do respect you. Any nigga, look, who could bring up something dealing with Jack Dempsey and that other motherfucker he was talking about and give you a thorough breakdown.
Yeah,
This
Pompier.
nigga,
Pascal Pompier.
this
Yeah,
nigga
Flyweight to
McGregor
heavyweight
knows
guy,
boxing.
winning world titles in
No,
between.
so what I'm saying is, I respect you. I know you know your boxing, bro. So I would never disrespect you and say that you don't know boxing. When we have agreements, absolutely. Life, you have agreements. This is boxing. But that's what we're talking about. We're gonna have agreements. But I want you to know, I respect you, fam. You made me respect you tonight when you brought up that shit about Jack Dempsey.
Yeah, can I just say you guys arguing about Wilder and Joshua? Both sides are biased, in my opinion, man. One way or on the other. One guy's arguing for Wilder, the other guy's arguing for Joshua, and I don't think it's a middle ground.
Well, never be a middle ground either way, brother. But
My whole thing is, I would say the same thing. All right, I would say the same thing if Al Heyman wanted Terrence Crawford to come to PBC and fight two people before he fights Spence. I would have the same stance. Like, yo, that's dumb. Like, that's dumb to make him for you to sign a contract to fight two people before you fight the person that you really want to go over there to fight. That's dumb.
Yeah, I get
Like,
that, but
I would have the same stance. I would have the same stance if it was the same thing with what you call it, with besides the only thing besides with Triple G going to the zone, like when Canelo was telling him like, yo, nah, fight
Is that YG?
guys, fight one of these guys and get a title first, and then I give you the rematch. Like,
is that YG?
Interesting. But for a champion to sign to fight two other people just to fight another champion, that seems like you going backwards.
Hey,
YG. He's gonna get guaranteed the fight. Look, you guys can argue. Can I just say you could argue either way, but one of you, I think it's YG, said Joshua and Wilder could have fought when he just become champion, but I don't think the fight was ever realistic until the Klitschko fight.
Hey, YG.
Yeah.
Look, now the one thing with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, that is more of a 50-50 fight. Do you agree?
Well, I think
Terrence Crawford and what you call
as far as the chances against you talking about money wise or
like with money wise and everything, I think that's more realistically of a 50-50 fight.
All right.
There's no point talking about Spence with you, kids.
Man, look, bro, I don't even want to talk about Earl Spence. I don't even want to do that. I'm just
joking. Even though I favor Terrence Crawford to beat him, but I will tell you that as far as money wise in the negotiations, I'm going to be real. I'm going to keep it real. I think Earl Spence is the A side on that situation.
Okay, all right. So look, I didn't want to go there, and I'm still not going to go there. I'm going to stick with the 50-50. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford is more realistically 50-50 than Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder was at the moment. Do y'all agree with you?
I don't know. I agree with you. If Joshua
and that's all I'm saying, bro. Like,
what if Joshua takes another loss or something?
Man, look, bro. I know, but that's why I'm saying Deontay Wilder lost $100 million. I truly believe Ruiz gonna win this rematch.
No, I'm saying, do you think Wilder deserves 50-50 right now? You don't.
Against who? Anthony Joshua?
Yeah.
What you mean? Like if Anthony Joshua lose?
No, he already lost already. Now if he
losing, like Anthony Joshua still is a bigger fighter than Wilder right now.
Well, so you're saying that you're saying Wilder still don't get 50-50, now he's the champion and Joshua's not?
No. Look what I'm saying, though, because I can't speak on that yet, because at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua and Ruiz got to fight again, and that's going to tell the tape. That's going to tell the tape on a lot.
All right, cool. What if he loses again, though?
Again, right now.
One minute. That you believe the AJ thing. Did you see Wilder versus Fury? Did you see that fight? I think that fight's one of the biggest fights in boxing. That was in the Staples Center with all the stars in America watching that fight, and you're trying to say that no one knows who Wilder is.
I think that's become the biggest fight now, man. That's bigger than Joshua and Wilder. In a way.
Say that like you from America.
Y'all don't understand what this Mexican community is, do you?
No. We're talking about Mexico. We're talking about in the Staples Center with all the stars, all the Hollywood was there watching it. The rematch is going to be the most biggest fight in America. The reason why AJ even came to America is because of what Fury and Wilder did over there, because he want to take the light. And they want the easy opponent. One minute. They're the easy opponent the Miller, and then they put another easy opponent. Ruiz just got lucky. That's all it is. And now you're trying to say that he fucked up. No, bro. Ruiz fucking wasn't supposed to win. So I don't know how that works out in your mind that Wilder is very popular over here, right? Because I don't know if you've been over here. When Wilder comes over here, everyone knows who Wilder is. Just let you know
that was only because of AJ. He was riding on AJ coattail.
Hold up. Good, let me go back. Now, Wilder came over here when Klitschko, because Wilder was doing commentary. So I'm saying you don't know. Wilder came over here, he was doing commentary when Klitschko was fighting AJ, right? When he came to the building, peered, shouting, cheering, Wilder. When Wilder was on the street, he was getting mobbed by everyone.
Is he more known in the UK than America then?
No, I'm talking. Be quiet, Ahmed. Yeah, grown men are talking. I'm gonna say you. Everyone knows who he is. When you come with the narrative, yeah, about no one knows his and UK knows talking. Yeah,
that's EJ.
EJ, bro. It's my hangout, right? Everyone knows who.
I was just trying to make sure because I be getting you and YG confused sometimes.
Well, they don't sound like.
I'm from America, bro.
I know, but I don't know. So, do you stay in America, EJ?
No, man, I'm from London, bro. I live in London, England.
Oh, okay. For some reason, when you be talking fast, you sound like American, like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but talking to YG too much. That's what it is, right? But listen to this, right? I'm telling you this, right? Wilder is well known across the world. Yeah, he's famous. Yeah, when you look at the numbers in the stadium numbers, yeah, in the UK we support our fighters. So if you ever see Ricky Hatton when he fought Mayweather, we support our fighters. That's where we are, right? So don't mean we're bigger. It's just that in America, you guys just feel like you're not the biggest sport in your country. So don't put it down and say Wilder ain't that popular. Like when you do that, that's
no, he's not, fam. He's not. He's saying, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
No, hold on. Compared to the football stars and the NBA stars. Yes, and the music stars. Yeah, I agree with that. But what I'm trying to, in the boxing world, and UK love boxing, Wilder is, if Wilder came over here now, fight England, hold up. If Wilder came over here now and had a fight in the same arena, in the same Wembley Stadium against one of the UK fighters, right? Let's give Dillian White. Give it Dillian White. Let me ask you a question. You think it would sell out?
I'm listening.
You think
it would sell out?
Of course. Look, of course it would. You know why? You know why it would sell out? It won't be because of Wilder. It'll be because of Dillian White. I'm not saying Wilder. Oh, damn, EJ. You don't let me answer your question, EJ. EJ, please let me answer your question. I'm not saying you're not right. That Wilder, they don't like Wilder over there because UK is the shit when it comes to boxing, fam. Shout out to the whole United Kingdom because one thing y'all do, y'all hold it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that fight wouldn't be big.
Tango, though,
it takes two to tango, and you're right about that, Hamed. But what I'm saying is, if we're gonna sit up here and talk about numbers, let's go look at pay-per-view numbers. Shout out to my nigga Bruce fucking Vine. Go look at pay-per-view numbers and see Dillian White pay-per-view numbers and look at Deontay Wilder pay-per-view numbers. Then you tell me who numbers are bigger.
Yo, EJ, this Malik guy wants a link, man.
Huh?
So you said that?
No. So what I'm saying, but he would have to fight a Dillian White. Wilder just couldn't come over there and fight any fucking body and think motherfuckers gonna show up and show out. He ain't gonna even get a fight like that.
I know. Listen, I mean, it's hard for you to understand, yeah. So I'll give you another comparison. Hamid, by the way, you're not even supposed to be in it, so be quiet about who's supposed to come in here.
You wait to say.
I invite you, but I'm just letting you know you're here.
All right, I'll drop off then. All right, thank you.
Not you, IOTBA. But go ahead, EJ.
What did he say? I ain't heard what he said.
I'm gonna show you something, right? I'm gonna show you something how the UK supports, right? So Tim Witherspoon, yeah, right, was one of your American champions. Came over here and fought Frank Bruno, right? UK, some of the UK people over here, they wanted Tim Witherspoon to beat Frank Bruno, right? And that was a massive fight in Wembley Stadium, right? Tim Witherspoon was so popular, and he's from America, that he lives over here. If Tim Witherspoon was to declare himself a UK citizen, like what Roy Jones done in Russia, he would do pretty well in fights because people in UK respect fights.
See the thing is, EJ. No, but what you talking about now? You talking about now, EJ. Who made it that way in the UK? Who made it popular?
let me finish though. Let me finish. I'm trying to show you something, bro. I'm trying to say the UK, yeah, as it is, the way it starts is that they will buy anything. They will buy anything because we just love fighting, right? Even to the fact that you could say the UK fans and the Mexican fans over here, we buy anything because we love fighting. We just love fighting, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is that you see the numbers and then you hear Eddie Hearn, and it's all propaganda. Trust me, it's all propaganda. The bottom line I'm trying to say to you is that end of the day, while your country why do you think we come to America? If our country is so great, why do we come to your country to get the money? Because in your country, you can change the tariffs on the pay-per-views. Like our pay-per-view is set. It's like £25.
Man, there you go.
95
There you go.
like that. When you go, you can change your one right to $100, yeah, for one pay-per-view. So that's why everyone comes to America.
You act like they don't got cheap ass seats in the stadium that we be going to. They don't
give a fuck.
No, but EJ, Anthony Joshua didn't have to do that though. How was he still making over 20 million plus doing that?
Well, how do we know that? But can I say something, EJ? Can I say something? Okay, go. Okay. All right, go.
Let me get some. So have you seen the risk? Because the UK don't show how much he's made. It's all you hear is Eddie Hearn saying some numbers, but you never see no receipts now. In America, you have to show them, declare them by Texas. In England over here, you don't show them. So how do you know he's making that much money?
But you know this world we live in, you gonna always get them numbers right.
No. We need to no.
So listen, EJ.
Yeah, you are.
EJ, come on, EJ. Let me get my point to you.
When over to England, you hear that AJ's making millions.
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying.
Talking about pay-per-view numbers or gate.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
Clear.
Can I say something IOTB before you
go ahead.
Yeah, let me just say this. But to EJ's point, what he's saying is, regardless whether you're a star in your home country or not, those fighters will always come to America to maximize their dollars. Why? It's because we live in a capitalistic country. When you live in a capitalistic country, there's more potential revenue that you can make here based off the tax tariff differences, like EJ pointed out. I'll give you an example. When Jared Cote, I don't think you know who that fighter was, Jared Cote. Back in the early 80s, he was a heavyweight champion of the world, the WBA, right?
You're talking about the bad feedback, man.
Was it me?
ITB might be.
Okay. But Jared Cote, for example, I'll take him for example. When he was a very popular fighter in South Africa, right? He used to fill out 80, 90,000 people in stadium fights when he fought there when he was a world champion. But yet, he wanted to come to the States. You know why? Because he wanted to fight the #1 heavyweight in the world. You know who that was at the time, IOTBA?
Who was that?
Tyson?
Larry Holmes.
Oh, Larry.
Okay, but that was different though, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But let me go further.
Bro, but look though. And DanTheMan, I want you to continue. I just want to say this real quick. That's when boxing was at its all-time heights, then, bro.
Okay,
in America.
Fair enough. Okay,
that's when boxing was at its all-time heights. But carry on.
Yeah, but even so, America still has the footprint of making more dollars than anywhere else. That's a fact.
UK done caught up with us, fam. Why y'all just can't admit that the UK have caught up?
Well, you're talking about it from a grassroots standpoint as far as support. I get that, but as far as a dollar amount profit revenue standpoint, it doesn't come close to American revenue.
So how was AJ? So DanTheMan, answer this question: how was AJ making more money than Anthony? I mean, how was AJ making more money than Deontay? Hold up, than Deontay Wilder?
Well, do we have? Wait.
Hold up. Let me finish my question, EJ, and then you can answer it. How was Anthony Joshua making more money than Deontay Wilder if America is all of this and they can make more money over here?
How'd you know?
Well, I got 2 points. I got 2 points to that. I got 2 points to that. Okay.
Where did you come with that statement that he's making more? Like, I don't know. Where are you seeing that? Where have you heard that from?
He's going by 5
Man, stop playing with me. Whoever said that, stop playing with me.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking EJ. This EJ. How do you know that? Because there's no proof, right? Because AJ don't show his receipts. So how do you know that?
You could see that about pay-per-view numbers though as well.
Actually, man, they actually have to report that here in the States, bro. But
No, I'm
but
talking about Joshua's pay-per-view numbers.
Oh,
No,
that's
I'm just asking though, like, if America is so great, if all the dollars is over here with these privileged fucking Americans who think we're supposed to have it our way, how the fuck was AJ? Hold up, how the fuck was AJ making 20 plus mil in the UK and Deontay Wilder was only making 1.2 over here?
Well,
Please answer that, EJ. Don't go around my question. Please answer that.
Well, you haven't answered his other question. How do you know Joshua was making that much? Because I'm gonna tell you. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Joshua. Here's the thing about the Taco fight. The number keeps going up. It keeps going down. One paper reported 12.5 for that fight. Another paper reported 18.5. So the fact is, we don't know what he's making because we don't see the actual financial records. Here in the States, you know that you have to report that to the athletic state commissioners on these fighters' purses. We get to see those.
You know what? That's crazy that y'all just gonna sit. See, this is what y'all gonna do right here, though, right? Y'all gonna sit up here when proof is in y'all face, when we know this dude was making this amount of money, and y'all gonna say how we know that.
You ain't even know. And even more, but Eddie Hearn came out and had a statement and said that the Big Baby Miller sold out. He said it sold out.
And plus, Anthony Joshua has started. He was co-promoting on the cards too.
Yo, see, let me tell you something. Because you're down in Dallas, yeah, right? I'm telling you, this is how it works, right? You have to show and proof, man. You can't just come out in rappers and say that he earns more than Wilder, but you have no proof, man.
Man, oh my, are you serious, bro?
Yeah, well, where's the proof? Come give us the proof that he earned more.
Well, man, everybody know around the world.
I got a rebuttable. IDB just screaming.
No. I know, but he's just talking.
Well, can I say something real quickly? Let me just say two things. First things first. IOTBA. When Joshua and Klitschko, they were supposed to have a rematch, right? You know that, right?
Yeah, and Klitschko said he didn't want to fight.
No. But before that, you know where that rematch was going to be?
Where it was going to be at?
Vegas.
Thank you. Why?
Yeah,
Why was
but listen, bro. But look though. We can sit up here and say where it was gonna be at, how it was gonna be at. I know they only had one fight in Wembley Stadium, and it wasn't no more after that.
Answer my question then. Why not run it back in Wembley? Why they decided to go to select Vegas as the rematch for as the site for the rematch?
Hold up. Did I say that there was something wrong with fighting in America? I just said AJ. The level he made it to, he didn't have to fight in America if he didn't fucking want to. And these privileged ass Americans can't understand it.
Why did he agree to the rematch in Vegas where Klitschko did? That's the case. Why?
Hey, bro, hold up. What did I just say about Vegas earlier, man?
Well, what did you say about Vegas?
Didn't I say Vegas is the place where they have all the big time fight, where they was having all, where it's known for big time fights, and why not? As good as that Klitschko and Joshua fight was at first, why not bring it to America to make a great debut?
But you say that AJ didn't have to go, doesn't have to come to the States. Okay,
no, bro, look, he don't. If he, DanTheMan, you act like he do. AJ can fight in the UK for the rest of his life if he wants to. Can he? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he could do that.
DanTheMan, answer my question, DanTheMan. Can AJ fight the rest of his fights in the UK if he wants to?
He could do that, but how long is the UK public going to stand?
No. Sabino, I just asked you a simple question. If he wanted to,
I said he could. What I'm saying is,
I ain't saying that's what he gonna do. But I ain't saying that's Anthony Joshua, fam. They're gonna come over there because that's where the money is.
You're a bit too loud. Look. With the Klitschko rematch, I do remember they were talking about Cardiff, but Klitschko said he doesn't want to fight in the stadium again because he already did it. So that's why that was one of the main reasons. But if you talk about money, then yeah, obviously the biggest money generated is in America. I'll have to agree with that. But Joshua could get away with fighting in the UK, but it depends on the competition. If it's Wilder in the UK, then that'd be a big fight in the UK. If it's Fury, but you can't get away with fighting guys like
Daniel Dubois or Nathan Gorman, those type of guys.
Yeah. You can't get away with Carlos Takam.
Yeah, you can't. You can't get away with the Ajit Caballel type of fighter. You can't get away with that, bruh. Because if you think about it, Joshua's numbers are going to dip if he's going to fight guys like that in the UK.
The Povetkin numbers dip.
Listen to me, fam. That was Anthony Joshua, bro. He could have fought me or you and still sold out about 30,000, 40,000 seats.
Yeah, but
am I lying? I'm talking about, am I lying? Don't tell me I'm lying. Then I said that.
I'm telling you, it's going to dip. Because this is what happened with Mike Tyson back in the day when he was running through the heavyweight division like a freight train. When he was doing, when he beat Michael Spinks, right? The fight that everybody wanted to see was him against Evander Holyfield. That was what people wanted to see. But when he was not fighting Holyfield, people were accusing Tyson of stalling that fight. When he was fighting the guys like Carl Williams, Frank Bruno, I know he's from the UK, Frank Bruno, those type of guys.
Whoever's me, whoever's not talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question
Hold
I
on,
want to
YG, hold
ask you.
on. No, hold up. The thing is that Tyson's numbers was dipping after the Michael Spinks fight. That's what I'm saying, because people wanted him to fight Holyfield right after that fight. That's what they were looking for. They wanted that fight. Hell, people wanted him to fight George Foreman, for God's sakes, when George Foreman was on his comeback trail. They wanted him to go fight those guys, but obviously he didn't want to fight Foreman for some reason whatsoever. He didn't want to fight him, but a lot of people accused him of stalling the Holyfield fight. So that's why his numbers were taking a hit because of that. Because they wanted him to see that they weren't going to the American public was not going to give Tyson a pass.
If he wouldn't have lost to Buster Douglas, that fight would have happened.
That's true.
Man, but he lost to Buster Douglas, and I think that's when Tyson got in trouble, and then Evander Holyfield ended up fighting Buster Douglas.
I mean,
well, that's true.
My question to you is, what?
Someone got bad
what
echo,
happened
man.
though?
It's winded. I can hear a lot of wind in the back.
Where did Joshua go wrong?
What you mean where he went wrong? It ain't that he went wrong, fam. Ruiz just came in there and was the better man. Y'all act like we ain't never seen none. This ain't unprecedented that a fighter come out of from nowhere and be the fighter who's highly favored. We done seen this
knocked
before.
out again, man. His career could be in jeopardy. I'm not lying.
I mean, no, we could say his career, and you absolutely right, Hamed. Because look, I ain't too much confident in Anthony Joshua in this rematch, fam. It's the way he took the loss, fam. You could lose a regular way, but it's the way he took the loss.
But he could do that in the rematch, though. That doesn't matter. He has to win the rematch. He could,
no, that's what I'm saying.
He could be dancing and jiggle, whatever, laughing his head off. But if he loses again, then he's already stuck and taken a loss. But it's only one loss. Look, I'm not saying that's the end of the world, but you can see how much damage a loss could do.
Yeah, and this is what I want to say to EJ first. Shout out to my nigga Unbiased. Y'all act like he said one loss, lose you A-side, and then he put a question mark. Because what happened with De La Hoya, did losses make him not A-side no more because he lost a fight?
Well, let me give you an example. Of that.
Joshua is no De La Hoya, man.
Yeah, no, let me give you an example. Vicky Wright versus Shane Mosley. Let me tell you something about that one, okay? The first fight, yes, obviously Shane Mosley was the A-side. That was for the undisputed light middleweight championship of the world. Winky wins that fight with, pretty much his best win on his record was against Bronco fucking McCart, for God's sakes, okay? That was his best win on his record. And a fight before that, he got some people thought he got robbed against Fernando Vargas. But when Winky beat Shane, guess who was A-side in that fight when they had the rematch?
Was Winky the A-side?
Yes, he was. He was the A-side.
I know, but it's just... Winky wasn't as big as Anthony Joshua. That's all I'm telling you.
No, Winky wasn't even big as Wilder at this point.
No, he tried to say, he meant to say.
Hold up, RG. Winky was not even big. Hold up, RG. Winky wasn't even the biggest name than Wilder at this point when he got that rematch. But yeah, he made a name himself when he beat Shane in that first fight, and then he was able to dictate the terms in the second fight. Got what he wanted. So, well, I'm just saying though. I mean, yeah, obviously, yes. If you're the champion, you lose. That's a fact. You have to be the B-side in this situation. You gotta, you can't dictate in that situation. You can't. But go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying though, bro. It's just different. You can't. Anthony Joshua, big time compared to what Winky Wright was, fam. Big time. I even know question.
Yo, that shit is so funny. All right, when you say big time, like what the fuck do you mean by that? Like that shit is funny. Like I don't know who the hell you get your information from to make you feel like, yo, he was that guy. Like,
I think you need to be when you're not speaking.
To be something that he's not. And you still don't see that.
Oh man, and like America earned the right to be where they are, man. They've been putting all the hard work for hundreds of years in boxing. They putting up the fight when no one else would.
Yo, let's ask a question. Do you think that loss helped Joshua's marketability in America? Or do you think, say, if he wins a rematch?
Yes and no. I'll answer that question. Yes and no. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. Now people know Joshua. The fact that he got knocked out by an obese heavyweight, which is kind of embarrassing in one way. From a casual standpoint, I'm just keeping it real. From a casual standpoint, they think that's fucking embarrassing because they're gonna look at the appearances between the two, and they're gonna say, "How in the hell a guy that's so built like a freaking freight train lose to a fat, overweight guy like Ruiz?" This is from a casual standpoint. Yeah. So yes, his loss did increase his profile in the States, but not in a good way. But
it did increase it in a good way because this is my thing right here, fam. Like boxing, boxing is built off wins and losses, right?
True.
And my thing is this right here. This is what I love about boxing because you can see a fighter take a loss, but the great thing is to see how that fighter bounce back. You understand me? That's the beauty of boxing. So Anthony Joshua, he has a chance to try to bounce back on Ruiz and regain that heavyweight championship again. So that's the beauty.
He can do that.
He
can do that. But here's my thing, and you may not agree with me on this one. Here's my thought on it, and I won't change my opinion on this. I think that he should not go into this rematch right away. I think he needs a warm-up fight or two, so that way he can get used to that type of style and then go rematch Ruiz. But to me, he took a beating. He went in there. And he goes in there and immediate rematch. This 4 months away. He needs to make a lot of adjustments. I just don't think that's enough time to do that.
And you know what? I don't agree with you because I'm like this, fam. Like I said, we can't go off wins and losses because if you say he should come back and do this, we done seen a lot of fighters who done lost in the fight. We done seen a lot of guys who done lost in the fight, DanTheMan, and they came back.
Kovalev and Alvarez.
Exactly. Hey, hold up. Hamed, perfect example. We seen Alvarez like really beat up. Didn't he knock him out? Kovalev?
Yeah, that was similar. I made that comparison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said, Hamed, good point. Like we see that, fam. So don't act like it's unprecedented that a fighter can't come back. What would this do to Anthony Joshua, DanTheMan, if he don't take this rematch and he go elsewhere?
I'm not saying.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying, if he didn't take this immediate rematch, fam, and he went somewhere else, how would this make him look?
It wouldn't make him look that bad. Look, here's the thing. People will still say, you know what, he's still in the game. Because here's the thing. People will still forgive Joshua and say, you know what, he's still continuing his career. He's winning some fights. Okay, great. My thing is from a health standpoint, man, I think this dude his health is a little bit compromised based off the stories that's been coming out. That's just my view. I think if you stick him back in there right away, and you guys went, you went and compare him to the Kovalev, the Kovalev and Alvarez situation. Yeah. Okay, fine. That's a little different. I'll tell you why. Because Kovalev always had the boxing skills. It's just that he chose not to use it against Alvarez in the first fight. So he didn't really have to make that many adjustments to go into that reach.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. I thought, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I thought that Kovalev needs to rest, take a break because he had back to back hard fights in between the Pascal fights, the fights he had the Andre Ward fights off. Yeah, the Ward fights. I thought those fights really took a lot out of him, which they did in my view.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I was about to say that was a bad comparison because Kovalev has been fighting way better competition. No. Than what you call it,
Joshua. Yeah, but another thing. Here's another thing. Another thing too. Kovalev didn't really have to make that many adjustments against Alvarez. We knew he could box. The problem is he chose not to against Alvarez. That's the mistake he made in the first fight.
And look, y'all got to look at this too.
Kovalev was looking like a guy on the slide.
Parker beat Ruiz, even though some people said Ruiz won, but Parker beat Ruiz in it was a good fight.
Joshua beat him and Povetkin, and Joshua's competition wasn't too bad. This is what I'm trying to say. Kovalev was winning that fight until he got clipped.
Yeah, exactly. He was winning that fight. Some people argue that he was winning that fight. Some people argue that Alvarez was winning the fight. It was a close fight. I
thought you could make the same comparison with Joshua until he dropped. All right.
You want something to say? Yo, Malik.
Yo, what one?
You got something to say? Yeah, what you want to say, bro?
Nah, I was just I wanted to say something about what you were talking about earlier.
Go on
then.
You better talk now. You on the big dogs, yeah? So
you on the big stage now, Malik. Go ahead, say what you got to say, bro.
Come in, bro. You talking the hell in the chat. You in there now, so what you want to say?
What I wanted to say was basically you guys were talking about like Wilder and like Joshua, how Wilder missed the boat. IOTBA said that, yeah, and I believe that because he had the chance April 13 to take the fight.
Talk that shit, Malik.
Yeah, he would have got more credit then.
Yeah, he had the chance April 13, and the fact that Wilder decided on the fight week to claim the Ortiz rematch and then the Tyson Fury fight, I don't think Joshua was focused, bro. Even though
let me ask Malik a question. Let me ask Malik. Wait, hold up. Let me ask Malik this question. Will it also be fair to say that? Yeah. Hold up. Will it also be fair? Hold up. Will it also be fair to say that Joshua had a chance to take that fight too, when Wilder offered him that guaranteed amount, which a lot of people like to discredit? Yeah. Okay, it goes both ways.
The fight was offered once by Wilder.
Yes.
Joshua about 3 or 4 times.
But I think Wilder
Joshua
had more
turned it
to
down,
gain.
right? He turned it down, right? So it goes both ways. Now
Dan,
the thing is,
what did you say? Wilder had more to gain, though. He could have become. I mean, obviously Joshua could have become undisputed, but Wilder.
they both had more to gain. Let's be real. Even though Joshua was getting high pay purses, that's true. He was, but his biggest pay. Well, resume wise, I get that, but his biggest payday would have came through if he agreed to that. If he initially agreed to that Wilder unification bout. Am I right? He would have gotten a bigger payday.
I agree with that, but what I'm trying to say, if Wilder now takes a loss and that fight don't happen, I think it damaged Wilder more. Like Joshua's already. I'm not saying Joshua's got the greatest resume, but he's done quite a lot. I think he's unified titles. Wilder still hasn't.
Yeah, he's done a lot in short time span. I definitely give Joshua credit for that. I agree, but I think to your point, Hamed, I think Wilder does have to strengthen his resume a little bit more so than Joshua. I agree with you on that one. I think he does.
If he beat Joshua instead of Ruiz, I think that would have boosted it a lot more. Then I think there's only a couple of names left. Like now.
No, but I just wanted to ask you.
All right, go.
What is all this? I'm gonna take the rematch and I'm gonna take the Tyson Fury fight just before Anthony Joshua.
Well, here's the thing. The zone deal. That's the whole. Here's the whole. It was the whole debate on the zone thing. Because the IOTBA is arguing that Wilder fucked up for not taking that deal. Okay, fine. I agree to the extent that he fucked up initially. But the point is that.
What about this
the point. Well, yeah, but hold on. The point is that if he had taken the deal, it was going to be an interim fight between Joshua and Wilder, meaning they were not going to fight immediately once he took the deal. They would have gotten 2 fights in between, which is nothing new in boxing. This has happened before with fighters.
It was just 1 fight.
Okay, 1 fight. Okay, interim fight. That's fine. 1 interim fight. They will get 1 interim fight and then 2 rematches, I believe. Correct? 2 fights. One fight and then another's going to be a rematch, right? Okay, fine. So they would got an interim fight in between. All Wilder had to do was get past Brazil, and Wilder had to get past Miller before Miller failed the drug test, and Ruiz came in. That's all they had to do.
I agree with all that, what you said.
Yeah, since Joshua lost a fight, then there's no point. There's no point because that point is mute.
Because before that there was an April 13th day.
But don't
they didn't want to negotiate at all. They didn't want to talk about it. It was like,
well, wait. April 13th wasn't Dillian White supposed to get that date, and then he turned it down.
The first was Wilder. They wanted Wilder.
Tyson Fury turned it down. Everyone turned it down.
Now they wanted Wilder, but Wilder said he wants the rematch. Where he should have left that option open. Then Fury turned down Wilder in the rematch, and then all hell broke loose. Like 1 fight.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened because he was obligated to the rematch with Fury, and then Fury backed out of it, so that kind of screwed things up. So yeah.
Also, I just wanted to mention one thing. What do you think of all these Wilder mind games on the fight week? It didn't feel right, bro. It felt like he wanted Joshua to lose. He was trying to get his concentration.
I don't know.
It was some fuckery.
Yo. So let me ask you: when you was watching, Malik, when you was watching Joshua versus Ruiz, right? What was going through your mind?
No. I thought it was a bad style matchup. Anyway, I think Joshua has problems with short guys. Anyway,
yeah, always, yeah.
I don't think he was fully concentrated. He didn't want to fight. I think his mind was elsewhere.
It could be that. Well, here's another thing that came out too. But here's the thing: no excuses. But he was sparring 8 days before the fucking fight. I'm like, what? What are you sparring 8 days before a fucking fight? Why are you doing that for?
Yeah, Dillian White was also saying basically that Joshua and Wilder were supposed to meet up after the fight and something like that. I don't know, but anyway, it didn't look right that Wilder was announcing 2 different fights a week.
Yeah. Can we just give Ruiz his credit, man?
Of course we are.
No,
We give him
look,
credit.
no,
I'm here.
no.
Hey,
Hold
here's
up,
the
there, man. Hold up, there. Let me say
Uh-huh.
this. Please, let's stop making excuses. Anthony Joshua lost that fight. Andy
Yeah.
He never
Ruiz was
lost.
the
He got knocked
better.
the F
Andy Ruiz was the better man.
Yeah, he
Andy
was the better
Ruiz-
man. He was the better man.
Andy Ruiz came in there and he won the unified heavyweight championship of the world. And we have to give that man his credit. I ain't gonna make no excuses for AJ because AJ has always been a stand-up guy. And one thing we got to give credit for, AJ didn't run and hide. He put his arms around Ruiz, gave him all the credit in the world. So that should tell y'all a lot about
And
AJ character.
Sorry, one thing, I wanted to say. You see, when Wilder lost to Tyson Fury, he was saying, "I broke my hand. I broke."
Oh,
He was making excuses up already.
Wilder lost.
Yeah,
to
you need to
Tyson.
dispute a
Malik, hold
draw.
on, time out, Malik. Time out.
Yeah, but he
Malik,
was saying
Wilder
it
got a
though. Come
loss
on
on
now.
his record.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a loss. But come on, he
All
lost
right,
that
so then
fight.
why was you even?
Well,
Another
wait,
Uber
the
said
only
he
He was
lost.
claiming
well, the
he was
only
claiming he
dispute that-
broke his hand
well,
twice.
yeah, the only well, here's the thing. Wilder always breaks his
He was-
hands in fights. Even wait.
You're a hater,
Wait.
bro. What you talking about?
Let me just say this.
No,
Let me say something.
I just wanted to add to it. bro. I just
Malik.
wanted to
Let me
add.
say this. Malik. Wilder always says he breaks his hands even when he knocks guys out. He's always said that. Number one. Number
He
two.
had an excuse ready
Number
already,
two.
bro. He had an
But
excuse
number
ready.
two. Yeah, he's always said that. Even when he wins fights, he's always say he breaks his hand. Number two. Well, what is that in the
What the hell,
background?
ITB?
But anyways, number two, Wilder has even admitted that he fought the wrong fight against Fury in that first fight. He admitted it. He's like, you know what? I fought the wrong fight. I wasn't patient. I wasn't setting up my shots better. I got to do other things next time. I got to go back and do the basics, as people call it. I got to
I
focus
don't
on
think
those other.
Wilder could do much better in terms of boxing ability.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that. But yeah, the basics.
think the
What do you
main
mean by the
difference-
basics? Yeah, go ahead, man.
I get what you're saying. Like he could jab a bit more, but the main difference I think is he has to keep Fury down.
I'm here.
I'm a serious hater, bro. Like,
I'm not a hater, bro. I'm not a hater. I'm just keeping it real. Joshua didn't make excuses, bro.
who's your favorite
Wilder did. He started making excuses when he lost it. When he had a draw with Fury, he said, "I broke my hand 12 weeks before the fight." I don't want to hear about that. You got outboxed, bro.
Hey, man, Shay, man, give Malik his credit, man. Shay, why y'all ain't let Malik get this point off? He on here talking that real
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. Let Malik get his point off.
Y'all won't let him get his
Man,
point
that
off,
nigga
man.
talking
So,
some silly shit.
No, 'cause-
Yeah, everyone needs to chill. It's my hangout. I'm telling you how it is, bro. This is how it's gonna be, right? Malik, what part? You from London?
Yeah, I'm from London.
All right, it was what part of London? You from North, West, East? Where you from?
Southwest, innit?
Are you from Southwest? Who your favorite fighter? Is it Dillian or AJ?
I'll keep it real with you, yeah. For a time, it was Kell Brook, bro. Kell Brook was my favorite fighter, bro.
All right, so who's your favorite fighter now? AJ, right?
I like all the British fighters, all the heavyweights.
Yeah, I think Brooke was more technical.
AJ, Dylan White. I was a big Dylan White fan.
There you go. All right, so let's get down to the nuts and bolts out here, right?
Yeah,
What's your problem with Wilder?
I don't have a problem. Listen, I just look. Let me just say something, EJ. Yeah, let me just say something, EJ.
He says some fucked up shit, bro.
Let me say something, EJ.
Like Wilder caused fucking AJ to lose. Like, what you saying?
No. What I didn't understand was, in history, when in 20 years down the line, no talking about what happened really, like the ins and outs, but right now we know what's happened.
Basically, he's trying to say Wilder's a protected champion.
Wilder planned 2 fights in Joshua's fight week, but it had an effect, a little effect. Whatever it was, it had some impact.
AJ going to Miami.
This is unprecedented. This is unprecedented in boxing, bro. Let's keep it real. We've never seen this before. A fighter.
AJ going to Miami and getting knocked out in sparring.
That's another one. That's another had another impact.
What's that going to do with Wilder though?
No, but I'm saying is in the history of heavyweight, I haven't seen a fighter announce 2 fights in 1 week of other competitors' fight week.
How long you been watching boxing?
I've been watching for a long time, bro. For a long time.
What? 5 years? Was it 10 years? How long you been watching boxing?
I've been watching boxing since HATER and Mayweather.
All right, okay. So you don't know about.
I'm 26. I'm 26.
It depends how old he is.
I'm 26, bro.
Okay. So you don't know
He's a kid, man. He's a kid. Why do you
Mike Tyson in the tournament, when he was going when it was a heavyweight tournament, and Mike Tyson, they knew who they were gonna fight before. So
look, it doesn't look. In the whole grand scheme of it, yeah, with how many chances Wilder's been given.
No. So you changed the subject, right? You don't know about Mike Tyson in the heavyweight tournament.
All right, go on. Yeah.
They knew who they were gonna fight beforehand, yeah, and it was all wrapping up for Mike Tyson to be the undisputed champion. And then Evander Holyfield, they knew they were fighting two fights. Like when he fought Buster Douglas, they knew that eventually they were going to get to Evander Holyfield. So I don't understand. Like your point, yeah, is mute, bro. It's mute. I want to tell you this, right?
No, you saying they didn't have an impact? You saying they didn't have an impact?
Hey, bro, you're a professional fighter. This is what you do. You went to
yeah,
Miami.
man. He's trying to say AJ needs to take responsibility.
Not interrupted. Right?
Yeah, of course he had the responsibility.
He went to Miami, right? And he got naval training. Naval SEAL training. No one told him to do that. No one told him to go to Miami, and no one told him to go to America. And the reason he went to America is damage control because of what Wilder and Fury did.
Of course. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because you can't blame Wilder.
No. But Wilder's been looking suspect, bro. Planning 2 fights on Joshua's fight week. He looks suspect, bro. Even though it's not.
Wait, how you saying when
it looks suspect, bro?
When Joshua was the one that moved his fight date back because
the April 13th date was for Wilder, bro. Come on now. Everyone knows that. It was
April 13th was for Wilder.
Was for Wilder.
For Wilder
It was for Wilder.
That wasn't just Wilder. White as well.
Yeah,
they had White.
He was supposed to fight.
It was Wilder. No, Wilder was the first person on that list. Then Fury. Then Wilder. Then White.
Wait. Wilder and Fury already had a fight announced.
How does your guy get his boot smoked, right? And then you keep bringing up like, yo, Wilder messed up. Your guy just got knocked out. He messed up. Why you saying like that's the shit that I don't understand.
Yeah, you gotta win your own fights, man.
Wilder messed up. Wilder blew $100 million. Wilder,
I didn't say he blew
no.
Did
what he was supposed to do.
Wilder hasn't blown anything, but he's blown his legacy, bro. His legacy was surrounded about.
Why? Because he's not the first.
Look. His whole fame, his whole persona is on Joshua, bro. His name is built on Joshua.
You think Wilder's whole legacy is predicated on him knocking
on
out
Joshua? Yes.
That's extreme.
Yes. His name is made of Joshua's fame, bro. Let's keep it real, bro.
Only because you live in England and you believe that. That's crazy.
You're crazy, bro.
Nah, let's keep it real. Let me ask you a question, though. Regarding the April 13th day, yes, Wilder was offered the date, he turned it down. Fury's offered the date, he turned it down. Dillian White was offered the date, he turned it down. Don't you find it pretty suspect that the A side in the heavyweight division can't get the top 3 heavyweights in the ring with him, for God's sakes, for that same date? Don't you find that kind of odd?
It's odd.
Why couldn't he close the deal on those 3 fights? 3 of them, for God's sakes.
The rematch to Joshua Ruiz is taking a while as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's going on with that.
A lot of people want Joshua to fail. Let's keep it real.
But yeah, I get that. But why couldn't he close the deal on those 3 fights? 3 heavyweights, for God's sakes. I could understand 1 or maybe 2, but 3 of them?
Look, he was offered 60-40 for the April 13th fight. I don't understand why Wilder would.
Okay, yeah, forget Wilder. Okay, Wilder took it down.
No, but don't you guys think White was to blame? Though White was off. White could have done what Ruiz did. He got too greedy, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, at the same time, it's just kind of oddball to me that the A side of the heavyweight division can't get three top heavyweights in the ring.
If 3 people turn down 60-40, don't you believe that the person that keep offering 60 doesn't deserve 60? That I
don't look at.
How can everybody tell you like, yo, you don't deserve 60, but yet you're still gonna come in here and tell us like, yo, Wilder missed out? Like everybody's telling you that Joshua doesn't deserve 60. What part of that?
You know that date was really for Dillian White because Eddie Hearn said in December that with Fury Wilder was already set. I remember this interview. It was one of the Matchroom shows. He said April 13 we're going to look at Dillian White. So I don't think you can blame. You can't blame Wilder too much for April 13. That was also Dillian White was meant to fight on that day.
Yeah, but like I said, my whole point is that I just find it odd that you get to that point as a cash cow in the heavyweight division. You really gotta, to me, look, I'm not saying cash cows not gonna have trouble making fights. I get that. It goes back to my original point that Floyd Mayweather, the cash cow, has always had.
Come on.
No, I'm not making no comparisons.
Making so much money that It didn't really matter what he gave these little subordinates.
Nah,
like,
Joshua and Hearn, they are bad negotiators in a way as well.
Shit, bro. Let's keep it real.
The fight doctor's in the house, bro. What's up, the fight doctor?
Oh my god.
Fight doctor's here.
Might for Joshua. That's
Yo,
it.
man, the fight doctor.
No. Here's my whole point. My whole point is that a lot of people like to make this Mayweather and Joshua comparison as the
No, there's
A-side.
no comparison. There's no comparison.
So, no. I'm not comparing it, but there's people who have. But my point is, I'm not comparing Joshua as an A-side compared to Mayweather. What I'm saying is, as an A-side historically, they always have no problem. They literally have no problems making big fights. They literally don't. I'm not saying they don't ever. When I'm saying I would say 90% of the time or 95% of the time they do. Why is it that Joshua, who's an A-side, had trouble making big fights?
No, Joshua, I tell you why. Because of Eddie Hearn, bro. No one likes Eddie Hearn.
That's true. There you go.
That's
good
the
answer.
Why.
No, but Joshua admitted on tape, though. He said
Joshua,
was to blame as well.
Eddie Hearn speaks a lot, and he's just talking a lot of trash. But Joshua is a real A-side, bro. Let's keep it real.
Well, we all know that. But what I'm saying is that he, of all A-sides that I've seen, had trouble making big fights.
Yeah. I think Eddie Hearn is mostly to blame, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. But again, to Ahmed's point, Joshua did go on radio with the Breakfast Club and said that he's partly responsible for why him and Wilder never fought at the time they were supposed to fight. He said that I'll take responsibility for that too. He did say that.
Yeah, but Wilder wouldn't be a man enough to say that either.
That's true. That's true. But I give AJ credit for that.
Blame it one side, bro. So,
but yeah, man. But look. Here's the deal, though. I'm about to get out of here, guys. It was good chopping up with y'all, man. Hey, peace to you guys. EJ as always, bro. Ahmed, and YG as always. All right, have a nice one. And hey, Fight Doctor just got in here, man. But hey, I'm out of here. What's up? All right, man. IOTBA, man. I know he's gone, but peace to y'all, man. I'm out.
He's back. All right. Yeah,
I'll catch up with you guys on the next one. I catch up with you brothers on the next one.
Oh, okay. You go Fight Doctor as well, right?
You say what?
You gone?
He's still on.
I'm hanging out. I'm hanging. I thought you guys were ending the call. No, I'm hanging out.
Dan just left, man. Dan just left. We still
YG left.
Well, we got Malik the hater hating on Wilder. And we got
I'm not a hater. Let me just say something. Yeah, Wilder, he's a great fighter. He can punch like a mule. But one thing, he's not that bright. He's a hillbilly. And he runs his mouth. He can't really accept that he's partly to blame. Because American public won't take it. They won't take it, but that he has partly to blame. He has to portray himself as some sort of Mike Tyson, the baddest man alive personality, and it's just not him. He's a shy boy. He was a shy boy. He's got a little bit of confidence, but people that know him from back in the day know he's a shy boy, bro.
Oh my days. Fight Doctor.
Well, listen, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before he won a title, he was a shy boy. Let's keep it real. He wasn't speaking that loud.
Ask your question, Fight.
I have a question regarding Wilder's intelligence. So my question is,
he's got a great team.
So my question is, who's smarter between Wilder and Anthony Joshua? Wilder being undefeated and on top of the heavyweight division, and Anthony Joshua having just got knocked out by a guy nobody saw coming.
No. I think Joshua's got a great management team around him, but he's got a dumb promoter, bro. He runs his mouth. He negotiates in the public. No one does that.
Well, his management team can't be that good because he got knocked out in his last fight and didn't look good in the process.
Look, who picked Andrew Ruiz? It was Eddie Hearn. Let's keep it real. They were talking on Instagram, and he fought this fat guy, bro.
Okay, but listen, at the end of the day,
Eddie Hearn, this year he's matched. He's poorly matched. Was it Lewis Ritson, Cheeseman? He's got this mantra: if you're good enough, then you should beat him. You know, there's matchmaking for a reason. There's an art of matchmaking.
Okay, but look, at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn is the promoter.
Mm-hmm.
But Anthony Joshua's management team has to okay the match. They have to okay the fight. All right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If Anthony Joshua's, first of all, listen, Anthony Joshua, his management team should have known that he was not ready for that fight. All right. Where were they when he was getting knocked out and sparring?
Right? Somebody should have pulled the plug on that fight.
But also, I think that Joshua is as well partly to blame, because I think he doesn't mind who he fights, bro. He was ready to fight Luis Ortiz with 6 weeks, and just look, the fighter needs to protect him, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, to answer this question, Wilder's the smartest. That's the answer to the question, Malik. Wilder is the smartest.
Yeah, because no, he's got a smart team around him. He's dumb. He's a dumb guy, bro. You can tell from his character, bro. You saw how he was on ESPN First Take. He was like, "Why do I have to come? He's from England." Listen, he sounded stupid, bro. On ESPN First Take, he's coming to America. He sounded real stupid, bro.
Above and beyond that,
why should I give him everything? Why do I have to lower my standards? He sounded real dumb and suspect, bro.
Well, look, at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua's team got him knocked out.
That's true. That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
They got him knocked out.
That's true.
And look, not only did they get him knocked out, but they got him knocked out minus the $50 million he could have made. I'm sorry, minus the $100 million he could have made getting knocked out by Deontay Wilder. Listen,
no, mate. It wasn't 100 million. It was 80 million. It was 50 million and a 30 million on the rematch. Let's not confuse it. Let's not make it more than what it was. Yeah.
All right, so
okay.
So
all right. But let me also say, Joshua has been making. Was it? Let's say he made his highest payday against Ruiz. He's been making 25 against Povetkin, 18 against Takam, 20 million against.
Where you getting the numbers from?
These are just media numbers, you know.
Made up by let Fight Club to get his.
No, but also, yeah. Well, let me also say, yeah. If you was to do like the maths, like if you was to, you can get the numbers of the pay-per-view numbers. You can literally do the numbers and figure out how much they roughly made, a ballpark.
You can't really do that because they don't really put them up. Fight Club's about where.
There is numbers. Actually, there's a website.
No,
there's a website that shows you like an accurate number.
No, they don't. Stop it. They don't.
I promise you, there is a website.
No, there's no website, right? Because they don't put them out.
No, there's a website that tracks like Sky Box Office.
I don't care if they track here. They have no way they know what the numbers are. So what I'm saying is
no, but I will tell you. Yeah, let me tell you. Yeah.
Because you don't know, like all you do is randomly just guessing.
No, there was you know how they've got like a Nielsen. There's another website similar to that for the UK programming.
Listen. In America, right? In America, they show you the numbers. In England, they don't show you. So right now, it's just guessing. That's all it is, guessing. Right? Fight Doctor, you had a question. Go ahead, Fight Doctor.
So how much did Anthony Joshua make for the Ruiz fight? How much was that? I mean.
They say it's his biggest payday. It was his biggest payday.
Okay, so let's just say
I had 40 mil. I had 40 mil.
Okay, so let's just say he got $40 million to get knocked out by Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
All right. That's still half of what he could have made getting knocked out by Deontay Wilder.
Look, but the rematch is very big still. It's very big. It's even bigger than the first one. So
yeah,
listen, the name of the game is cashing out. The name of the game is cashing out, bro. And what Wilder's been doing hasn't been cashing out.
But here's the deal, right? The rematch might be bigger. But the question is, look, Ruiz is the man. He has all the belts. He's basically holding all the cards.
But so, Ruiz's purse is already set already. It's been predetermined. So.
Listen, I agree with you. All right, yeah. That's right. It is. However, Ruiz's purse is predetermined. Ruiz's purse is predetermined if he agrees to go through with the fight.
He can't legally. He's legally in a contract. He's legally in a contract that stipulates a rematch contract. Ruiz, the only way Ruiz gets out of this contract if he retires, he's not going to retire.
Look, he can sit out. He can sit out the contract. All he has to do is sit out. He can
Yeah,
vacate the
sit
title.
out maybe
He
for
has-
1 or 2 years, 2 years, 2 3 years.
He has options. Okay.
Okay, yeah. He's got one option. He hasn't got many options. He's got one option. It's to sit
No,
out.
he has options. No, he has options. Look,
He's
he
got
can
one
vacate
option.
his title.
One option to sit out, bro.
He could vacate the belts. What are you talking about? He could just vacate the belts.
Yeah, he can. Look,
No, it
Ruiz
doesn't
has
matter
options.
what he vacates. Yeah, it doesn't matter what he's got a contract to fulfill, innit, bro?
He could vacate the belts, yeah, and he can still be known as the.
Unless Joshua forgives him, yeah, and like says, I don't care, I don't want to fight him anymore.
What
Like,
do with it?
he's got to fight him.
He's got the whole of Mexico behind him. He can vacate the belts, and the belts will be vacated because they're putting pressure on him for the sanctioning bodies, and he's still good. The one I know we talking about retirement. You don't have to retire. What are you doing that for? You're making up stuff.
Well, look, yeah. De La Hoya against Mayweather, yeah. Mayweather had to there was a rematch stipulation, and Mayweather retired. If you remember, clearly.
Mayweather did not retire after the De La Hoya fight.
He did.
No, he didn't.
No, he did not.
He did.
No, he didn't.
No, he fought Ricky Hatton 6 months later. So what are you talking about?
And De La Hoya fought Thingy Forbes after. What are you talking about, man?
No, I know. From what I can remember, I remember De La Hoya saying that he tried to stipulate the rematch,
but in fact,
and he
that's
retired.
not what happened. So Floyd Mayweather fought Ricky Hatton 6 months after he fought De La Hoya. So what are you talking about? Go check it. Go look on BoxRec. Check it on BoxRec.
All right. But whatever you say, yeah, the fact remains, yeah, that there's a contract that needs to be.
I'm not denying that there's a contract. What I'm saying is Ruiz has options.
Yeah, he has options. You don't have to fight him. You could just vacate the belts.
Look. Joshua, even if he vacates the belt, Joshua wants to right his wrong. So he's well within his rights to still
go through
with the rematch without a belt on the line.
But do you think Anthony Joshua, Team Joshua, and Eddie Hearn, do you think that they want Andy Ruiz to vacate those titles? Is that what
I no, but I think personally, I think Joshua should vacate some of the titles, even if he was to win the fight, because I think he's got some learning to do.
These guys in the chat, it's negotiation, yeah, because the Zone wants the rematch and Hearn has the deal with them. That's it's the rematch because
listen, the Zone doesn't want Ruiz to vacate any of those titles.
No,
they don't.
Yeah.
Nobody involved wants to vacate those titles. Nobody.
Look, the titles are going to be vacated regardless. They're going to be vacated.
They might get listen.
And look, if you look at it, yeah, if you look at the landscape, yeah, Dylan White, he's IBF. He's in the top 3 or 4 for IBF.
He don't want to fight no one.
What's the other guy? If he's mandated to fight to have a vacant belt between Pulev and White, he will fight.
Yo, why Dylan don't take the Ortiz fight, and why Dylan don't take the AJ fight? Why Dylan's not fighting these guys?
But Dylan White was talking about the other day that the IBF might be vacated and I'm going to fight for it. You know, he was talking all that bullshit on IFL TV. I believe he'll fight for a vacant belt, bro.
Why is Dylan not taking? He's been offered a lot.
Anyway, he's got that opportunity. Yeah, Matchroom's got that opportunity. Yeah. Usyk's got the opportunity to fight for the WBO title.
Yeah. Hey, look, these stars in the chat. These stars in the chat.
Matchroom fighters are in a great position to pick up some of these belts.
Hold up, Malik. These stars in the chat say this kid is confused. Vacate and strip. Yeah, between vacate and strip. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's different, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's different wording. Like,
but vacate and strip is different wording. That's right.
Yeah.
He could vacate or he could get stripped. It's either or, bro. It doesn't really matter.
You know,
it's tomatoes, isn't it, bro? Vacate and strip is.
Malik, you walk into a beehive with him.
No, because you're losing the belt regardless. That's the end action. Whether you want to fight or you don't want to fight, you're losing the belt, right?
Hold on. Who won the fight? Did you see Ruiz put AJ down? He got down and got up. AJ put him down. He got up and put AJ down. How's he losing the fight?
I didn't talk about nothing about the fight. I'm saying all I'm talking about is the contract.
No.
I'm talking about whether he should vacate AJ, in my opinion.
No. He's gonna fight him. Ruiz ain't ducking or nothing.
No, he's not. He wants to fight.
Yeah, Ruiz is gonna fight him. If Ruiz fights him,
He should because he won the first fight. He should.
All right. So if Ruiz fights him again, do you think Yeah. D-Stars, put your email and I'll put you in. If they fight right now in the rematch, right? If they fight in November, who wins that fight?
I think Joshua's got a lot of adjustment to do, bro. I'm not trying to blow anyone's smoke up their ass. I think he's got a lot of adjustment to do. It's not a foregone conclusion, bro. I think 100% Joshua has a chance. He's not all the way. Like, he's got like a 50% chance of winning the fight.
Listen. He's gonna get guns. How's he gonna do with Ruiz? Has got chin, got work rate, he's busy. Like what? Like, he listen.
Look. Listen. Let me just tell you something. Yeah, let me tell you something. If you know anything about Joshua and his amateur career and his last 23 fights, the guy's got heart, bro.
I'm not talking about that, bro.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna do nothing. The heart ain't gonna do what we're talking
The heart.
about.
And he's got talent as well. So if he was to like literally knuckle down, maybe he has a chance still to win the fight. It's just a fight at the end of the day.
Question.
He hasn't become washed overnight.
There's only one guy who got up from AJ's fight, Klitschko, right? Where he got knocked down and also Dillian White. They got up and they fought AJ back. This guy got up. Not only did he get up, he put AJ down back on the seat of his pants, and AJ was like, "Yo, what?" And AJ never been through that. AJ never been through that. And I want to say to you,
but look,
this guy's coming to Mexico in the rematch.
Let me talk about the fight now. Yeah.
D-Star, where your email? Drop your email. Go ahead.
I think Joshua was struggling the first few rounds with the pressure, and he broke the pressure by getting the knockdown. He got a little bit greedy, and his man wasn't hurt. And a lot of people are saying a lot of people.
No, that's not what happened at all.
Is my assessment wrong? I'm telling.
Yes,
I think I'm. How?
I think your assessment is wrong.
How? I'm
not.
Look. You look. I didn't say anything about outboxing. I said Joshua was struggling in the first few rounds. He broke that pressure. He got the guy down. And what he should have done was, instead of going gung ho, he should have said, "Oh, it's 1-0. I gotta box this guy. Use this knockdown to scare him, to implement my boxing skills on him, to jab."
Wait. How is Joshua gonna outbox the guy who's outboxing him?
Listen, no. In the first few rounds, it was just about positioning. It wasn't no boxing, bro. It was very low output. It was very low. It was a low output fight.
Yeah, but the first few rounds were fill out rounds. I get that. However, Ruiz had Joshua figured out by the end of the second round. He had him figured out. Because after that is when
all I'm saying is
so Joshua got the knockdown in the third, but then after that it was all Ruiz. The rest of the fight.
I said Joshua broke the pressure, and what he should have done was, instead of going for the knockout when his guy wasn't ready, he should have boxed him and started going on the front foot.
Wait a minute. How is Joshua going to outbox a guy who has a superior skill set? Sorry, but no. Well, did you not watch the same fight I was watching?
I don't understand. I don't understand yet. That's not entirely the case. That wasn't entirely the case. You're watching the fight from rose-tinted glasses, but let's be honest here. It was a competitive fight.
It was a competitive fight for 2.5 rounds.
For you to say it was outboxing, that's not the case, because I'll tell you now, yeah.
But he got knocked down 4 times. So what are you doing?
No. You take look. You take the knockdown, the rounds of the knockdowns, yeah, and you analyze it, yeah. There were competitive rounds.
Wait, how is it competitive when one guy got knocked down once, the other guy got knocked down 4 fucking times?
If you listen to what I've just said, if you just listen to what I said, if you take out those knockdown rounds,
but you just look at out the knockdown rounds. What are you talking about? Did you not see the same fight I was watching?
Exactly. So look.
Okay, so basically, your argument is it was a boxing ring, but it wasn't a boxing ring if you take out the boxing ring. What are you talking about?
This guy, bro. You sound so stupid. I'm talking about the fight in overall. Overall, there were 7 rounds. There were 7 rounds, and you're talking about 2 rounds of action.
No, I'm talking about the whole of the fight.
You're talking about 2 rounds of action.
No, I'm talking about the whole fight.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. if you
Okay,
just
go
let
ahead.
me just analyze it in totality. You see, I first analyzed the competitive rounds, and I said Joshua got greedy, and from around after round 5 when he threw his best punches, round 6 he got outboxed. That was the round he got fully outboxed, and round 7 he couldn't recover. He was gassed.
Wait. So did you not see round 3?
The round 3 was knockdown rounds, but I don't think there wasn't really. It wasn't about. I think Joshua was really hurt that round, bro. I don't think it was
Okay, so
outboxed.
in order to hurt a guy, you have to hit him, right?
Yes.
So Joshua got knocked down twice in the 3rd round, didn't he?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. How many rounds did you give Joshua after the 3rd? I gave him none. I didn't
No, I
think
he won round 4 and 5. It was 4 was a tight one, but I think he won round 5. I think he won round 5.
Yeah. So
he lost round 6, and he lost the round 1. And yeah. Joshua won round 2, round 4, and round 5. It was a competitive fight. You're making it out to be this guy got washed up. If the knockdown didn't happen, it would have been a competitive.
Wait. How many times did Joshua get knocked down?
You'll see in the rematch. You'll see in the rematch, bro. It's gonna be still competitive.
Listen, the rematch is gonna be more of the same. But the question, Joshua got knocked down 4 times, right? Or did I not see the same?
Correct.
Okay, so when your guy gets knocked down, what does that mean to you? I mean, were these flash
It's
knockdowns?
careless. It's careless. It could be carelessness. The knockout could occur from different reasons.
Wait, so a guy gets knocked down 4 times because he was careless?
Well, you got to analyze like a boxer's decision when he gets knocked down, bro. Joshua had the chance of walking around the ring, recovering. He decided to fight when it wasn't the right time to fight. Joshua's whole tactic in the fight was, I need to get him out there as soon as possible.
Okay, so
I don't feel
the reason why Joshua's tactics were wrong. The reason why Joshua's tactics were wrong is because Ruiz has a superior skill set. Okay.
I don't think it's that black and white, to be honest. I'll keep it real with you. I don't think it's that black and white.
Okay, so then if Ruiz doesn't have a superior skill set, how did he manage to knock Joshua down 4 times?
I think partly because of the first knockdown, bro. I think he went in too carelessly, and I don't think he fully recovered.
Okay, well, I would give you.
But I also say Joshua wasn't comfortable to begin with because.
Listen, maybe you would have an argument if Ruiz only managed to knock Joshua down 1 time. All right, you can write off 1 knockdown as a slip, as an accident.
No one's saying it's an accident.
When you get knocked down, but when you
look. All I'm saying is
that is a trend, okay?
No. All I'm saying is Joshua's whole mindset. I have to fight with him. It's not the right tactic to fight with Ruiz.
But see, here's the problem. The reason why Joshua had to fight with Ruiz is because he was getting outboxed. He had no choice.
Joshua has fought better boxers. Look, no, let's keep it real. Joshua's fought better boxers than Ruiz.
If that's the case, then why did he knock out?
Let's keep it real.
If Joshua were the better boxer, how did he manage to get knocked out 4 times and get knocked out on top of that?
Let me just tell you something. Joshua has fought better boxers than Ruiz.
Look, okay, that's fine. I'm not even going to try to refute that argument. However,
all right, let me just say something. I said to you that in the fight, it was competitive, but there was knockdowns in them. Yeah, I won't say Joshua got totally washed out. Bro. There's some extra bits that you're forgetting to talk about.
Wait. What extra bits am I forgetting? The 4 knockdowns? The fact that he got stopped? Are these the extra bits that I'm forgetting? The fact that Joshua mentally checked out of the fight? The man quit. So what are you talking about? What part am I missing here? What part? Please tell me, what part am I missing? Were we not watching the same fight? Because I saw Joshua get knocked down 4 times. I saw Joshua turn his back on his opponent.
In the lows of the fight, where there wasn't much exchanges happening, Joshua was controlling him with the jab. As soon as he cracks him in close, he starts to trade with him, and these are the wrong tactics. You got to lull the fight. You got to spoil the fight. You got to jab, hold. This guy Joshua, he got holded up in the Madison Square Garden vibe, bro. He started fighting like he would, and there needs to be some sort of something needs to be addressed, because Joshua, he likes the George Foreman, Ron Lau-esque type fights, and that's not good for his career, bro. He needs to start jabbing.
Yo, D-Star's is empty. What's up, D-Star? Go ahead, D-Star. Jump in. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Look, man. First of all, this young kid here. You said you were 26. What's your name again?
Malik.
Malik.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you. Where are you from, man? Where are you from? I kind of already know.
I'm from the UK.
I'm
from the UK.
UK. Okay. What do you know about hillbillies? Like, give me a definition of a hillbilly.
Hillbilly is some sort of redneck, bro. Like someone that's from I know what a hillbilly is.
Well, if you don't tell me. You're throwing the word around.
He's a hillbilly.
Don't go to. I can tell you go to Google to search it right now.
I can literally go into Google and define it, but I'm not a dictionary, mate. I'm not gonna.
So why are you calling him a hillbilly? Why are you calling
what a hillbilly is?
Why are you calling Deontay Wilder a hillbilly if you don't even know what it is?
I believe he's a hillbilly.
You believe it. Now you believe. You downgrade that. That was quick. All right. So look, you got that from Hatman's video, didn't you? I could bet you anything.
That's correct.
Okay, I knew it. All right. A lot of the things you're saying.
I will say is also his erratic behavior as well.
Right. Oh, okay. Erratic behavior. Okay. Look. So look, I would recommend don't use words if you don't know what they mean. You're over here calling Deontay Wilder a hillbilly, bro, and you're calling him dumb. Right? Like seriously.
He's a dumb fighter. He's a dumb fighter.
Yeah, dumb fighter. Okay. Let's get off that for a second before you embarrass yourself further. Listen. Do you have the contract? Because you're talking about like you know about it. I want to look at it. Do you have that contract, the rematch clause? Do you have it? Do you have it in front of you?
Look.
That's a yes or no question.
With this place here? Just because I don't have the contract doesn't mean I can have a fair, honest assessment of what I think the contract might be.
Okay, so don't speak of it as a matter of fact.
Look. What is this with this channel where if you don't have concrete fact, but there is
because where I come from, concrete facts matter, bro.
Look, there's some irrefutable facts. There's a rematch clause, full stop. And it's
okay. What about the rematch clause?
These things are legally binding, bro.
You claim. Let me step in. You claim that that's not negotiable. Okay, it is negotiable because they're already negotiating it right now. Are you saying that it's not negotiable? Yes, it is.
Look. It wasn't just Eddie Hearn who said it. It's other guys in the business that said that the rematch has been preset. The price has been preset. The location is Eddie Hearn Matchroom's choice. It's not just Eddie Hearn. It's Rick Glazer. Rick Glazer on Facebook. He's a well-respected guy in the boxing industry. There's other people that said it. I remember listening to a podcast on.
What's it? Not negotiable. Circumstances make things negotiable.
Okay, he gives me circumstances where he can negotiate. There is no negotiation.
They're already negotiating it. Just like he said. First they said, "Hold on, you gotta let me talk." Okay, you already talk. Let me talk. All right, I don't want to talk over each other. You already talked. You're not gonna filibuster. Just listen. Right? It is negotiable. All right. And I know you're young, but this is where you need to listen. Okay, it is negotiable because of the circumstances, right? First, Eddie Hearn said the fight's going to be in the UK because that's what the rematch clause said, right? Now, we don't have the rematch clause in front of us. We're just taking his word for it. Well, they're already talking about the fight potentially being in the US already. More than likely being in the US. Why? Because the circumstances changed that.
Ruiz's team, that's more of the zone.
No, you're actually not right. Okay, this is where you're wrong. The zone makes money out of the U.S. That they don't have Joshua fights on the zone, dude. Okay, so that's not the case. The zone wants to fight in the U.S. because they want prime time viewers here, right?
That's correct.
That's called
now, you tell me
the
where
Ruiz team.
Ruiz
Al
team-
Heyman's team is using that as leverage. Okay, you need to understand
Okay,
that.
yeah, you can say that they're
And
using
leverage
it, but
can
they
make
haven't
things
used.
negotiable, right? That's I'm just letting you know it makes it negotiable. And how do we know that? Okay, then if you're objective, you realize that it's happening right now as we speak. Okay, as we speak, they're negotiating.
Look. Using.
I'm looking.
Okay, you're saying he's using the leverage, but you didn't say, oh, you said Ruiz's team are negotiating on the location. They're not negotiating. The conversations between the zone and the Hearn and Matchroom to set about the location of the fight. Let's keep it real. If Matchroom says he's going to Nigeria, he's going to China to fight this rematch,
I was
he has
using
to
that
go.
using that as an example. You say it, okay. It's everything's non-negotiable. Is pretty much what you say. Okay, just like about 10 minutes ago. I just gave you an example of how it did become non-negotiable, and the money's negotiable. Okay, let me tell you something. Ruiz can drop the belts tomorrow if he wants, and he could keep going with his career. That's not going to look good for Joshua. Joshua needs that rematch to redeem himself. So, yes, it is negotiable as far as if they want the rematch. It is negotiable on how much you got to pay Ruiz.
If Ruiz drops the belt, it doesn't look good on him, but also it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't, but what I'm talking about is that the belts are leverage. Okay? Yep. Leverage makes things negotiable. Yep. Right? They're already renegotiating.
The leverage has been took from him when he signed that first contract, bro. Everything's been determined.
Well, obviously, it hasn't because they haven't announced the fight in the UK, bruh. Okay, and Ruiz hasn't agreed to a flat fee, so it doesn't matter. It is negotiable. They're negotiating right now. Right now, they're negotiating. By the way, don't say things like if you take away the 2 knockdowns and how the fight ended, then it's a close fight. That doesn't even make sense. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Right? If you watch a soccer match or football, as you guys call it over there, and it ends 2-0, you don't say, do you say, oh man, but even take away 2 goals, it was competitive. You say that?
You talk about the possession, the amount of chances created is more than just.
But do you say if it wasn't for the 2 goals?
The goals are very important. The goals are very important.
Okay, all right, there you go.
It's about the chances created. It's about how many shots on target. There's things to analyze, you know.
Well, nobody's saying there's things to analyze. Well, what I'm talking about is just saying something like, you know what, just if it wasn't for this, that, and the third, man, it would have been a great fight. Well, if my uncle didn't have balls, he'd probably be my aunt, but that's just not the case. All right, okay,
Eric, make
what happened. I mean, he got it. Like Joshua got his ass whooped in that fight, and you have to live with that. Okay, you have to come to the conclusion that he didn't look so good. All right, he was hurt. He didn't look so good. All right, so that's just that.
Okay. Anyway, I've got to go.
And I think it had a lot to do with the opponent that was in front of him. The guy that was in front of him made him look that way.
If you actually listen to what I first said when I first came on, I said Joshua hasn't done well with short fighters.
Yeah, that's DStyles, by the way. It's like this DStyles. Nice one, Malik. Yeah. You got that word. I know you worn out. DStyles came with that fresh energy. You weren't ready for that one. But yeah.
Look, the main thing was definitely that I knew it. The moment he said it,
I just say something.
The moment. No, hold on. The moment you said, well, let me get this worded, right? The moment you said that you were calling Wilder a dumb, hillbilly, and all that, all those ad hominem attacks, because that's what it is, right?
All right.
As soon as you did, I knew it was from Hatman. Okay, I knew it was from Hatman. Okay, you admitted that it was. A lot of the information you're giving us is from Hatman videos. That's what it is. That's your source. Your source is Hatman, who doesn't have sources himself.
No,
right?
I have a man's character that I see in interviews on a daily basis.
Well, he's obviously wrong about this one, isn't he?
I think he's erratic.
You cannot use someone as a source that is just using speculation. That's not a source, right?
Okay.
It's not a source. But back to the, you're saying that.
Look, EJ, I just want to say something to EJ before. Huh?
Well, tell me why he's dumb. Tell me why he's dumb. Explain to me why he's dumb.
Well, he's dumb because I tell you something. He's dumb for not taking the Joshua fight when he was guaranteed 100 million for the fight. He's dumb for not even backing himself. He thought
he was guaranteed how much?
He was guaranteed 120 million for 4 fights with the Zone.
Okay, but that if he signed with the Zone, it doesn't mean like let's say he would have signed with the Zone. Let's go to this fantasy world, right? If he would have signed with the Zone, when you say he should have signed,
you take that out.
Joshua was going to have a fight with Miller anyway. He was going to have a fight with Miller anyway, right?
And
Miller was going to
would have probably been
if Wilder signed with the Zone, AJ would have gotten his ass beat by Andy Ruiz anyway.
No,
it would have happened anyway. That doesn't even matter.
A lesser opponent, you can't make these.
And
pre-adjustments.
Does Joshua fight for the Zone in the UK? Does he fight for the Zone in the UK?
Let me just tell you something before I leave. Joshua offered 60-40. That was above his marker, Wilder's marker, multiple times, and Wilder said,
"Wait, so
that comes to a dumb fight."
Let me just add one quick point. Okay,
I've got to go.
Right, look, Joshua does not fight for the Zone in the UK. That's number one, right? And he doesn't have an exclusive contract with the Zone either. Joshua could fight for Showtime in the US if he wants. He's on a fight-by-fight basis, right? He could still fight Wilder on Showtime, and they would still air it on Sky in the UK. It doesn't matter who he would have signed with. Stop using Hatman as a source. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and he's making you look stupid.
No, I'm not using Hatman as a source. Look.
Yeah, you are. You admitted earlier.
No. I just said maybe I've took the hillbilly thing, but I know for sure that Deontay Wilder has had times.
Oh, you don't even know what a hillbilly is. I would drop it if I was you.
A hillbilly is a guy that's from Southern America, southern states of America, who probably lives on the field and incest with his family. That's my.
So that's what you're saying. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Anyway, let me just say something. Yeah, you were using the fact that I might not know the full extent of the definition of a hillbilly to assess my character and totally. Well,
you're attacking Wilder's character. You're calling him stupid, and you're calling him a hillbilly.
Well,
I haven't attacked you.
I've told you why I think he's a dumb guy. Anyway, I've got to go, bro. I've got to go.
Why did you look kind of dumb to me? Because you said that Wilder looked dumb because he requested the fight that he had to fight in America.
I'll come another time, innit? So we're gonna have we're gonna be ready for this, yeah.
You're still in the chat, bro, because like you can't handle these styles of fight, doctor. They got you on the ropes, and you.
No, EJ, these guys are these LDBC guys, yeah, are master manipulators. I've got to come ready. It's late. It's late in the night.
I have not called you names. It's all projection, bro. You were the one attacking another man. You were attacking Wilder, calling him an idiot, calling him a hillbilly. Okay, now you're coming to me that I attacked your character. I did not call you names.
Really, I know you can't take that word.
All right.
If Wilder is such an idiot, how is it that he remained undefeated, whereas
all right.
Joshua got knocked out and looked bad in the process?
All right, Millie, you can go, man.
Anyway, you guys, yeah, I've got to go, yeah.
Tap out. John Jones, tap you out.
There's no tap out, bro. It's late here. It's late here. I live with my family, so I've got to go in.
Yeah, take care, Millie. Take care.
You guys
are 5%.
Malik's funny, you know. Like he got that work, bro. Like you listen. Listen. That's what I'm saying. That these two, he was in the chat begging to come on. And you come on, and you understand you're dealing with. Like U2 was on his neck, bro. U2 was on his neck, and he couldn't take it. That's why it's a bell. In fact, whatever his name is, he bailed out as well. They're out here lying. I don't understand about some people, you know. Their hate is unreal. I'm glad that you two both came over, but shit. Go ahead, D-Style.
I'll say this, CJ. I didn't call him any names. I didn't attack him personally. I don't know who he is. I was attacking the things he was saying. Right? Yeah. That's what I went after, and that's how I debate. I don't go after people personally, right? But I feel he was out of line with that hillbilly thing. I knew he got it, and he admitted that he got that from Hatman, right? Yeah. Like this moment I heard it, because it's very random. It does not apply to Wilder whatsoever. And I knew where he got that from. And a lot of the things he was saying, he got from Hatman. I could just tell.
Yeah, Hatman said about Wilder was stupid. Like, fighting out the up on when he said Wilder was stupid. But he said, if you hold him, Wilder's the only one undefeated. Go ahead, fight, Doctor. Talk on it, fight, Doctor. Go ahead.
Hatman is the biggest Eddie Hearn homer I've ever seen. I mean, I think he's on Matchroom's payroll. It's like when he talks about anyone else, he's on point. But the minute he starts talking about anything relating to Matchroom or Eddie Hearn, he's the biggest Eddie Hearn apologist I've ever seen. Honestly, the man is unable to be objective where Eddie Hearn is concerned. So the fact that this guy would start, regurgitating this Hatman business where Eddie Hearn is concerned just shows that he really, is quite clueless, I think.
Yeah, I know somebody said that. I don't know what they meant by it in the chat, that I'm a big Wilder fan. Look, man, I mean, don't go by whatever you think I'm a fan of. Go by what I said. If something I said was incorrect, by all means, I'm open to hear it. But I don't know. But this guy all of a sudden had to go, so it is what it is. Maybe he was fatigued, EJ.
Yeah. Listen, he felt the energy coming for his neck. He was on the ropes, and he couldn't take it because you was questioning him. First off, you asked him what a hillbilly is. Fighter asked him, he said Wilder's stupid, but Wilder's undefeated. So what you know what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't hang, bro. He couldn't hang. But I'm gonna keep doing these things. The hater report is going on. These styles fight Doctor, and we over here. And listen, we ain't affiliated with no one. Everyone is their own man who comes on with their own channel. You know what I'm saying? They represent boxing. They go speak their truth. If you feel your way, you in the chat, and you want to feel your way, you're welcome to come on. But listen, understand, we're gonna come for your neck if you ain't bring the facts. And that, my guy wasn't bringing no facts. Pure opinion. He was putting opinions out in his head and then trying to make them facts. And I was like, no. You're gonna have to answer the questions. And he'll be back. Like, they'll be back. And hey, what's going on with your boy Ruiz though, man? Like, how you feel about like the first Mexican or American and Mexican heavyweight? Like, how's that going down? Like,
this dude's like he's still on tour. So I saw him in Puerto Rico the other day. Like he's still. I think he needs to go back to the gym, man. I saw a tweet out saying, "Don't let what you see right now on social media fool you. I'm still working hard, but I don't know, man." I have an interview with his trainer that my friend did. And I played a little bit of it on my channel, and even his trainer saying, man, he needs to get him out of Southern California and just go seclude himself somewhere and get him focused again. So I think even his trainer's kind of like, we got to get back to work. We don't need a Buster Douglas situation where we're celebrating too long, So that's what's going on with Ruiz right now. Hopefully he gets focused again.
Yeah. Because like, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I missed out on the payday, but I don't think I'll miss out on this one. I think if they go into the rematch, I think AJ's team might postpone it and keep postponing it because they know and try and fight Ruiz after the Christmas to make sure he puts on weight, and then they're gonna fight him. I think that's the because remember Ruiz at the back-to-back fight, he fought before and he fought again. They're thinking, well, boy, listen, his weight might fluctuate if we catch him later on, but. From my understanding, but Ruiz, he seemed like a carefree dude. He got the Mexican. I see him over there with the Mexican president. He living the life. I don't think he wants more of that. And if he was to lose to Ashley Joshua, I don't think it would be a bad thing. I think all the pressure's still on AJ to win. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where it is, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll tell you what, man. If Andy Ruiz wins that rematch, he's gonna be big, man. He's gonna be the biggest name in Mexican boxing, even above Canelo. Even above Canelo.
You said for real? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wow. Well, you putting it there.
This dude he was invited by the Mexican president. I have the video, by the way. I translated so you could kind of read what they're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's big. I can't tell you how big this is. Even in the year 2019, being heavyweight champion of the world is still a big deal. Okay, and it was a big deal over there. And I mean, people walking up to this guy like a superstar in Mexico, and that's them thinking that a lot of casuals think this was like a fluke, you know. And Joshua's out here; he's going to try and prove it was, and Ruiz is going to try and prove it wasn't. You know, so if he wins the second time, it's going to solidify it, man. And I'm telling you, I'm listening to a lot of Mexican media. He will be bigger than Canelo. He will if he wins that rematch.
Yeah,
I can believe that.
Yeah,
I
the heavyweight champion of the world will go to Mexico as Aztec Stadium. Back Chavez, he'd be a legend, bro. He's already got endorsement of Julio Cesar Chavez. What's that guy Hauser trying to say he's not Mexican? What's that bullshit? I was like, yo, why are you trying to hate on the man's parade, bro? Like Hauser,
well, like here's the thing, right? I don't want anybody to get it wrong or anything. Technically, yes, he is Mexican American, right? And he has dual citizenship and all that. His dad was from Mexico. And there's nothing wrong with someone even saying he's a champion from the U.S. There's nothing wrong with that because it's true, right? But the way Hauser did it, I just had an issue with it because they asked Hauser, "What do you think the significance?" And I believe it was actually someone from the British press that asked him, "Well, what do you think the significance of this of the first ever, champion of Mexican descent?" And Hauser just brushed it off like it was nothing. And, it wasn't so much that he said, "Well, no, he's American." It was that's not the part that got to me. The part that got to me was where he said that it was all marketing. That it's not a Mexican. That was all marketing so they could sell the fight, and that pissed me off. That's the part that set me off.
Yeah, that was Robert Tebbett from Boxing Social. He marks him and
yeah, because I mean, when even people from the other side of the globe, when people in Europe understand the significance of this, and you're a boxing reporter from the U.S. and you don't understand the significance of it, I think there's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, Lennox Lewis's background was Jamaican, but he was born in Canada. He grew up in London, and he won the Olympic thing. He got a lot of dual nationalities, and I guess if with Lennox Lewis, he could pick. But with Ruiz, he's all Mexican, bro. Like where he come from, where he come from, didn't that used to be owned by Mexico back in the days, right? And America took over.
Well, yes, but not just that, man. He walked this, and you'll see that in that translation video I made. They even told the president of Mexico, like, and I don't know why, but the Joshua camp didn't want the national anthems to be played, and they didn't want the Mexican national anthem, right? That's gonna take
time, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
I got this from Joe Habib, but he said he had read somewhere, so this is just me kind of quoting him. But he said something about the Joshua camp just wanted to skip the anthems because Wilder just wanted to, AJ just wanted to get to the point. He just wanted to get to the ring. I don't know if it makes him nervous, just waiting for the fight to go down or something, like that waiting time. But Ruiz's camp was like, nah, we want the U.S. national anthem and the Mexican national anthem. There was a request. They did not want that to play it. And he requested it or he was not going to fight. That was basically a demand in the contract.
Well, that's a good thing because at the end of the day, patriotism, and that's got everything in it. And I think if the fight's in America, where AJ is going to have to fight in America, the AJ can win the fight. But Ruiz is Ruiz has got so much on him, and he's gonna before he was fighting for himself and fight, but now he's fighting for a country and there's so much behind it. I'm like, yo, bro, this dude's gonna be bringing. If you think he was gonna be worse, he's gonna be worse this time, bro. And we know he's got a great chin, and he's gonna prove himself. And people already said he beat Andy Ruiz. And when I watched that fight the other day, I was like, yo. He actually won that fight. Andy Ruiz on the back foot the whole damn fight, bro. I was like, how the heck did they take it away from this guy? I think Abel Sanchez was his coach at the time, and I was like, yo, bro, he actually done very well, man. I thought he pulled it off, and being AJ right now solidifies himself as definitely the one guy. But everyone's gonna underestimate him. That's good. That he's definitely gonna be some great fight.
Yeah, what's his name? This dude's in the chat, bro. Like I thought he was gonna go to sleep. He's still in the chat. Like, oh, like.
Malik don't go nowhere. Malik was on the ropes. Yeah, because the fight, you in the fight.
Want to wake up this shit. This dude's like the what's that guy called? I forgot the dude's that prankster.
Jason, you talking about Jason from Friday the 13th, right?
Charlie, whatever his name was, man. I thought he was a boxer, but he wasn't. Wilder like beat him up because he said something about his little approach.
I don't know about that. But what I know is this: yeah, he ain't going nowhere because he wants to see how he's being betrayed. He didn't like the way you.
He's always saying I manipulated. Get the hell out of here.
Yo, Malik, you're welcome to come back because these stars ready to go right now. Watching the UFCs right now. Jones, Holly Holmes, yeah, like I've got that on right now. The hate report.
He's a Charlie Zenoff. He's a Charlie Zenoff of debates, bro. Like when he feels the heat, he steps out of the ring. He steps out, he leaves.
Yeah,
he talks about how he won later on.
Charlie Z. Yeah, hey, listen, Malik. This is what I'm gonna say. This is the battleground of debates. Yeah. When EJ, listen, my panel is fierce. Even me, sometimes I'm like, yo, everyone's bringing the heat. And like you came in there, you wanted to be in the heat and thought you get your point across. But listen, DStyles is on his game, so is the fight doctor, and you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to come with more ammo, bro. But you know, some of the stuff you're saying, Hillbilly, first off, is that's real, it's real disrespectful and dumb, and all the things you name him, it's like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and inaccurate, top of everything else.
Yeah. Like if you talk about dumb, like if AJ, all the reports that came out, that AJ had a panic attack and he got knocked out in sparring, then that's dumb taking that fight. You know what I mean? That was dumb taking that fight. That doesn't make you smart. You know what I'm saying? And the rematch, everyone knows where AJ shouldn't even take that rematch because that knockout was bad, man. I was talking.
He's gonna go watch some more Hatman videos to study some more. You know, that's what he's gonna go do.
He gonna come back on though. Malik gonna come back on though. He gonna probably go to a glass of water. Round 15. He's coming back in. He's like, yo, he's gonna step up to the line. He's gonna step up to the curb. But no, Malik, you gotta beat him though. I'm not gonna lie. The D-Stars put it on your neck. Right? I ain't gonna lie to you. What we'll do, catch that little clip. We'll pull it out singly and pull it out by itself. But D-Stars, going back to Ruiz, yeah. So you say he's gonna be bigger than Canelo. Like, what's the thing with Canelo right now? Because he's fighting.
If he beats Joshua, yes.
Yeah, what's going on with Canelo right now? Because he's fighting some bums, first class bums, man. Like since Triple G, like what's going on with Canelo, bro? I heard they're talking about fighting Korolev. I heard he's fighting this guy, that guy. What's going on with him? Why ain't he stepping up? Like I know his resume is tight though. Resume is good though, but
it is. But he doesn't get to fight whoever he wants for the rest of his career. You know, just because he's got a pretty good resume so far.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he already had his kind of tuna fights, man. It's time to. I give him credit for the Jacobs fight. You know, I think he looked good in that fight. Personally, a lot of people trash the fight, but Jacobs is a tough fighter, man. But I will say, I wanted to fight Charlo or Andre. Just I want to see him fight.
Yeah, I think he beats them.
One or the other, at least.
Yeah, I think he beats them guys though. I don't really rate Charlo, and I don't really rate them guys there. Them Jacobs. You know
well, I mean, he is the quote unquote full champion at 160, and he's been in Canelo's radar since 154. I think Canelo beats him, but he has to step in the ring and fight him. Is what I think.
Yeah.
So we could talk all day. If you rate him or not, it's irrelevant. I mean, at the end of the day, he fought Liam Smith for crying out loud, right? Yeah. So if he fights Liam Smith, what's the excuse? This is the problem when these guys fight these nobodies. There's really no good reason not to fight a Charlo. There's no good, like, you know what I mean? Like that. I just want to see him fight the best in his division, whoever's there, before he talks about moving up or anything like that. That's what I want to see. And you know, it's being criticized a lot, man. That's one of the reasons I'm saying if Andy Ruiz beats Joshua in the rematch, man, he's gonna blow up, man. He's gonna become big.
I agree, man. We'll have to wait and see though, but. Hopefully that fight gets announced and gets so now. What's going on with Dillian White? What's your take on Dillian White?
I didn't quite all over the place, bro. You know, he's a good fighter, so I don't want to give this like I don't want to act like he's not. He's a good fighter, but But man, he's talking a lot of game, man. And he's putting out a lot of false information. You know, he's always at the least insinuating, if not flat out saying that Wilder's doing everything to duck him. It's just not true. This guy lives in a fantasy world. It's just not true that Wilder's ducking Dillian White.
Yeah. He got a lot of offers, but he be throwing them back for whatever reason, and blaming it. And what's Eddie Hearn's beef with the WBC, bro? He be beefing with the WBC like they gonna sue WBC, they gonna do this, they gonna do that. They ain't do nothing, Charlie Z. Like people upset you calling that dude Charlie Z.
It's all talk is what it is, and I'll tell you, it's bad. A promoter shouldn't start beefs with a sanctioning body, especially if you're promoting fighters from all weight classes. That's me. If you're a fighter, I mean, you should question the fact that your promoter's beefing with the WBC. I mean, that's taking away a possible trinket title shot for you, but that's another story.
I thought you want to say something?
No, yeah, I agree. That's just when I first heard that, I was thinking, what in the hell is going through Eddie Hearn's mind that he's threatening to sue the WBC? I mean, he's almost guaranteeing that Dillian White doesn't get a title shot. Okay? And then, listen, the WBC essentially showed Eddie Hearn, who's boss, when they elevated Canelo Alvarez, when they quote-unquote elevated Canelo Alvarez to the McDonald's franchise champion. Okay? Because basically the message is, try to sue us if you want. We'll just give Deontay Wilder a fake belt. Tell him he doesn't have to fight a mandatory. We'll make your guy a WBC champion, and then we'll mandate that he fight a tomato can and for his first defense. So how would you like that? Okay, so yeah, that was just not a smart move on Eddie Hearn's part. You know, that was just dumb. You don't threaten to sue the WBC. You just don't. Not if you're a promoter.
Yeah, especially if you don't have a good case too. I mean,
yeah,
right. Plus, right. You have no leg to stand on. Okay, none. I mean, have you guys read the WBC's rules? I mean, them shits are a joke.
Yeah, they make it up as they go.
What's that?
They make up the rules as they go. But listen, EJ, I have to talk to this kid right now, man. But I have not been in a debate. Although I didn't even consider that a debate. I was like a first round knockout. But I hadn't come on and debated anybody in a long time. I'm just doing my own thing, my channel, doing a show Monday through Thursdays, Appreciation Week. You guys check that out. You should vote on those polls, EJ. All right.
I've been voting on the polls. I've been seeing all the stuff. You and the Joe Habib. Man, I listen to all your stuff, man. I mean, but even back from Game of Thrones, like I ain't even told you how disappointing the Game of Thrones is. Hey, you know today, right? In my local shopping mall, yeah, they actually had the throne, and you could take a picture of the crown. And I was like, yo, I was gonna do that, but I was like, yo, the way the season ended, I said, nah, I'm gonna pass. I mean, yo, the way Game of Thrones ended, it's like, yo, that just, you know how many years I've been watching that damn thing? We've been watching that damn thing, and the way it ended, I said, yo, that was so disappointing. But yeah, I watch all your stuff, man. I mean, you keep it going, DStyles, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Most definitely, guys. DStyleBoxing, keep it boxing. Peace out.
All right, man. Nice one. Peace. And we over. So that's DStyles right there. Malik, man, it's a new guy on the block, man. Malik, man, appreciate you coming over. Fight Doctor. Fight Doctor. But yeah, man, we were getting in. Would you want to address Fight Doctor? Because hey, what's getting with your boy Triple Duck, man?
So wait, so he's supposed to. Wasn't he supposed to be fighting Jaime Munguia?
Yeah, that's why.
Listen, I'm amazed that the zone would let him actually contemplate such a fight. I mean, that fight. I mean, I got nothing against Jaime Munguia, but he hasn't done anything at 154, let alone 160. You know, how is that even an option?
But that's what he does. He likes to fight guys from 154. You know, he's consistent, though, isn't it? Most of Triple G's resumes consist of guys from 154, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. If you remove the Jacobs, if you remove Jacobs and Alvarez, what do you have left on Golovkin's resume?
Pure 54 pounders, man.
you know, it's a joke. So
Yeah, I think Jaime might whoop his ass though. I think Jaime seen something right with Canelo, and I think Jaime might see something like that can whoop his ass, man. Because the thing is, yeah, he's over there now with Jonathan Banks, yeah. And Jonathan Banks, yeah. When I talked to Jonathan Banks the other day, he said we ain't ducking no, we want to fight everyone. So I think Jonathan Banks has told Triple G, look, we can beat these guys, and let's make a name. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You know, Jaime Munguia, I know he's 154, but he's a big 154. I think that would be, you know, that's a credible win, man. That's a really good credible win. If that fight can go down, bro, Triple G, yeah, man, I'll give you credit. That's a real risky fight. What do you think? I know Jaime ain't done nothing, but
I mean, listen, I got nothing against Jaime Munguia, but at the end of the day, what has he done? Who has he beat? Really? I mean, he's unproven at 154. And last I checked, Golovkin is a middleweight, and he wants to fight a guy who's unproven at 154. Now, look, if you want to say that Jaime Munguia is a good fighter and would be a legitimate win, I would agree with that. However, at the end of the day, the guy is unproven.
Yeah. That's a good point. He ain't really done nothing at 154. That's a good point. I have to admit. You know what I'm saying? If someone jumped in, who just jumped in? Is that you still?
It's YG.
Yo, YG Knight. Yeah. You're right, man. You're right, man. So I agree with you, man. Right now, I'm on the UFC right now. Diego Nightmare Sanchez in the ring, ready to fight. But I'm gonna close this hangout down. YG, you got anything to say about the hangout? It was a good. Hey, that was some good. Hey, you and Malik was going in, bro. Hey, you was on point today, YG. You was on point today. I have to admit. I have to even stand up. Salute to you, bro. You was on
Yeah, I
point.
appreciate that, man. Those guys are out of control.
Yeah, you was all on your game. Fight Doctor, you was all on your game, bro. Like, dudes want to come over here. This ain't no gang affiliation. This ain't no thing. You will come over here if you want to talk your piece. You better know that my dudes have got. Sometimes I don't have to say anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys go. You guys will go in and ask the proper questions, and we're gonna get to the truth of the matter. The bottom line is people should put respect on Wilder's name. You know what I'm trying to say to you? AJ gets respect already, but don't be disrespecting Wilder. And like dudes need to understand that, and then we can all get along. You know what I'm saying to say to you? Like, I was surprised that the dude from America, what's his IOTBA, TDA, right? He was just on, man. I can't believe how much disrespect he had for Wilder, man. I was like, yo, like Wilder ain't done nothing, this, that, the other. But when you guys put numbers on him, in terms of like Wilder in Alabama, the numbers, there ain't that many people in Alabama, but yet he sold more tickets than there was more people in Alabama. But yet he's a failure. Like, come on, man. That was some good stuff. But I digress.
Yo, you watching some of this UFC before you fall asleep tonight?
I ain't falling asleep. I'm gonna do that now. Fight Dots from EJ Boxing Live to Fight Dot the YG Night. Catch your next one. Peace.
Peace.